Recorded live.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Müvment Boxing Podcast, where we bring you all the latest and greatest news, unbiased, unfiltered, uncut, in the sport of boxing, keeping it underground, away from this mainstream bias that we seem to be having that's afflicting the sport of boxing, the true knowledge of the sport. So, we're here to quash all that. I'm joined by my normal cohorts and co-panelists today. We got Bone Bernard of the Truth and Facts About Boxing Talk. What's going on with y'all today, fellas?
What's good, Twine? I'm over here making low-carb turkey tacos. Let's get it in.
All right, I think we got Bo on. I think we got Bo on, but yeah, we're gonna pass it on to our representative from Colossal Boxing Talk. Big Cool, what's going on with you, fam?
Man, I'm chilling, man. Chilling. What's good with y'all?
Man, another day, man. Just decided to talk this weekend's fights and the one that's coming up this weekend. So I'm kind of excited to get it in on this show, man. Of course, I'm Twine, the Divine Liberty of HoopJab.com. And we gonna hold it down for our brethren who can't be with us this week. At least at the moment, TK the God, the guys of Boxing Talk. So you want to give a shout out to him. Also wanted to give a special shout out to one of our brethren from, he's in a lot of the boxing groups are pretty active. He's a runner of Die Hard Boxing. We want to give a shout out to Ty Stewart. He had some health issues over the weekend during the fights. And went into a coma, but he's recovering slowly from what we've been hearing. So we just want to give a dedication to him on this show. And, we're here with you, brother, man. It's all love with these groups. You know what it is. There ain't no hatred between us. We all support each other. So big up, fam, and we hope you get well soon.
Yeah, shout out time, man. Keep fighting.
All right. With that said, we're going to get into this past weekend's fights, man. We had a whole gang of them to review. A lot of controversy. I mean, man, you name it. There was a lot going on this weekend. So I guess we're going to start off with one of the more controversial ones, which was Hassan N'Dam taking on Ryota Murata for the WBO regular middleweight title over in Japan on Saturday. It was actually one of the first title fights really early in the morning. N'Dam won by a split decision, which a lot of people are saying are controversial. We'll get into some of the stuff that happened in the aftermath. With that said, I want to let Bernard do his thing on this and break it down. As far as the scorecard, I've seen a lot of outlash as far as people saying it was controversial, but you and 2K actually fall into a different alignment as far as your view on the fight. So let me let you go into that, Bernard. Bernard.
Oh, yo, my fault, Twine.
Yeah.
Let me first start off by saying this. I watched the fight twice. The first time when I watched it, I had N'Dam winning 115 and 112, and I didn't write it down, but I had like 3 swing rounds. But then I decided to, due to Chris Henderson, who said it was a robbery, who was saying it was a robbery, but we had a nice debate. I disagreed with him respectfully and told I was going to rewatch the fight again. So let me start off by saying this. This is the second time I took notes, heavy notes from this fight. For the first 3 rounds, N'Dam dictated the pace. So 1 through 3, he dictated the pace, and Murata did not engage. The 4th round, N'Dam was winning the round before Murata caught him with a right cross that knocked him down. At the 10-second warning before the round ended, N'Dam started heading to his corner, thinking the round was over. Murata went in for the attack as N'Dam went to hold Murata. Murata pushed him down, ref ruled it a push/slip. So the 5th round comes up, which is the swing round. It could have gone either way. Murata is engaging more and is following N'Dam around the ring. As both fighters are in the middle of the ring, it leads to some exchanges from both fighters. In the last 30 seconds of the round, Murata sends N'Dam to the ropes twice. The first time N'Dam holds Murata, the second time N'Dam comes back finally. Now we into the 6th round. Ref warns Murata about holding N'Dam's head down. Murata is imposing his will and landing more of the cleaner punches, and N'Dam keeps going to his left, which is allowing Murata to land his right hand at will. Murata sent N'Dam twice to the ropes. I have Murata winning that round. The 7th round was a swing round. Could have gone either way, guys. N'Dam is keeping Murata off with the jab. Murata didn't throw a punch until a minute and 40 seconds was left in the round. When he threw the 1-2 combination, he missed. About 1:15 left in the round, Murata hits N'Dam with the double right that forces N'Dam to clinch. With 50 seconds left in the round, Murata's left foot stepped on N'Dam's right foot, causing N'Dam to fall down. 48 seconds left, Murata hit N'Dam with a right that sent him to the ropes. N'Dam starts to bring the fight in the middle of the ring by using his jab as the setup with various combos to break Murata's guard. N'Dam was held by Murata that caused a slip within the last 20 seconds of the round. We move to the 8th round. N'Dam starts with the jab. Murata hits.
Wait, who'd you get that round to? You said it was a swing round? Around that round 7?
Yeah, let me check that real quick. I believe I gave that to Murata.
And he didn't punch a minute and 47 into the round?
He didn't punch until like a minute 40. Yeah, like a minute 40 left in the second round. Murata, and when he did, he missed the first combination.
All right, I'll let you keep going into your scores before I question it more.
Okay. I'm in the 8th round, and this N'Dam starts with the jab. Murata hits him with 2 short rights. N'Dam is back with the jab. Murata is following him around the ring. Murata throws a right hand that misses N'Dam. N'Dam is caught by a jab from Murata. N'Dam outlanded Murata. 9th round was a swing round. N'Dam continues to start off with the jab. Murata lands a right, and N'Dam comes back with his own. Both hit each other with jabs. Murata hits N'Dam with a jab that buckles him. Murata lands another jab, lands a right. Seconds later, he lands another jab. N'Dam hits back with a jab. Both hit each other with a jab. N'Dam lands a jab and a sweeping right hook that gets between Murata's high guard. N'Dam returns to using the jab. With a minute and 6 left in the round, Murata lands a right that forces N'Dam to clinch. After the clinch is broken, N'Dam starts firing off the jab. Murata gets in close and throws a right hook that hits N'Dam's glove but lands a left uppercut. N'Dam returns fire to keep Murata off, and N'Dam lands a jab to the head. Straight right to the body and a jab to the head combo. And with that swing round, I believe I gave that one to Murata. The 10th round, N'Dam starts with a jab to the body. Murata comes with a jab and a right later. Murata seems to step it up by throwing more jabs at the start of the round. N'Dam is using his jab to keep Murata off. Murata counters it with the overhand right. Murata lands the jab. N'Dam lands a 1-2. N'Dam ducks a jab from Murata. He will throw a jab and a right uppercut and miss Murata. N'Dam goes back to using the jab. N'Dam ducks another jab. Murata lands a jab. N'Dam is using the jab to keep Murata off. N'Dam hits a sweeping right hook on Murata that buckled him a little. Murata throws a 1-2 combination but isn't successful in landing. This leads to a clinch. Murata starts landing body shots. N'Dam starts firing back to keep Murata off. Murata throws a right hand that hits N'Dam in the right shoulder. N'Dam starts throwing jabs with various combos to keep Murata off until the end of the round. And this 11th round, N'Dam lands a jab. Murata lands a jab. Murata lands a right on N'Dam's high guard. N'Dam lands a jab to the head and the body and misses the sweeping right hook. N'Dam lands a few body shots. Murata lands a body shot, but isn't breaking through N'Dam's high guard. N'Dam lands a jab, but the combo is unsuccessful. Murata lands 3 rights in an exchange with N'Dam, who lands some punches of his own. I believe I gave Murata that round. Then N'Dam, this is 12th round. N'Dam lands a jab. Murata hits him with the right. N'Dam lands a double jab. Murata lands a right hook. N'Dam goes back to the jab and throws punches that miss Murata. N'Dam lands a jab. Murata lands a jab. N'Dam lands a jab. N'Dam throws a combination and lands a couple of punches. Murata lands a right punch and left hook. N'Dam and Murata get to an exchange where Murata lands 2 right hooks. Both fights fighters getting into a clinch when Murata lands a couple of body shots and a right hook before the ref breaks up the clinch. And it ended that, pretty much after that whole assessment, I gave the fight to Murata 114-113.
Okay. And that was your second time after your second time watching it?
That was my second time watching it. Let's be honest, I think I had three swing rounds. The fight could have gone either way. It was that close of a fight. And I would say that due to Murata's wasn't really throwing that jab until the 10th round. That's when I felt like he picked it up. He wasn't. To me, when I looked at the fight the first time, Murata wasn't really in that way of engaging. He didn't throw his jab out as much, and it was like Inoue was more of the active fighter. And I could see why the judges gave him the fight. Now, the scorecard for 115-112 would be a good scorecard for Inoue, I believe. But anything after that, higher, no. Anything higher for Murata, no. That 117-110, I believe, no. It was not that type of fight.
All right, I basically got the same assessment from 2K saying that it was one of those close fights to where it could be either way. And it wasn't as controversial as people were letting on. First thing I saw in the morning was robbery.
Yes.
Then I come talk to my trues, the ones that I know I can really trust their opinions on stuff. I'm thinking to myself, this is in Japan. I mean, however, Murata going to get screwed in his own country of all things like that. So I'm like, man, I don't know if I want to believe that robbery joint. You know what I'm saying? But then I heard y'all, you and 2K pretty much going in saying, it was a close fight, but it wasn't nothing like a robbery, and you could see it going either way. So I kind of understood it from there. I don't know if anybody else had a chance to watch this one. Bo, you on with us?
Yeah, I'm right here, man. No, I didn't get a chance to watch the fight, not that one, but I heard the same thing, people calling it a robbery, and like you said, Bernard and 2K, like, it could have went either way, but that seems to be a theme in boxing. We're calling fights robberies instead of close fights. Like, by now we should all know what a robbery looks like, you know what I'm saying? So.
All right, with that said, it's looking like what the WBA has called for a rematch in this fight, due to the controversial nature of the split decision. So they've called for an immediate rematch already for this fight. So we'll be keeping our eyes out on a date for that one and seeing how everything pans out. If it's in Japan again or not. That said, I guess we'll go into one of our other fights from the weekend. This one actually happened earlier in the day, too. It was part of Showtime's card. We had Gervonta Davis making the first defense of his IBF 130-pound title against Liam Walsh over in the UK. And let's just say they came to put on the show. Me and Bernard were talking about Floyd Mayweather's jacket prior to Gervonta coming out, and I was like, what is some 2020 Michael Jackson beat it shit? And what do you know? You know what I'm saying? What do you know? Gervonta comes out the motherfucking beat it. I knew it as soon as I saw the hat what they were going to do. So. Let's just say they put on the show in the UK. You got to do it big, and the interest is on the UK, and they definitely did that, as well as in the fight. With Tank winning by a third round savage knockout. Let me go ahead and pass it on the boat. You get a chance to catch this one?
Yeah, this one, I watched this fight, man, because this was had a lot of implications on it. Gervonta was being talked about because of he was like 0.2 ounces off in weight. And everybody, and including myself, I said something about it. I kind of pretty much said, Floyd was intervening in a lot of stuff. Maybe he should have made sure he would be out on point, but it's only 0.2 ounces. And but the reason why that happened is because, and just something we'll get into later, is because Gervonta was Floyd. That's why we gave a shit about them 0.2 ounces. Like, that's why hearing he was overweight was so magnifying to everybody, because his association with Floyd. But outside of that, man, My only concern for Gervonta was him only going over there with 3 days before the fight, not giving himself enough time to get acclimated for the fight. And there was rumors that maybe Tank wasn't taking this fight so seriously because of, Walsh, because Walsh really wasn't like that well known or that big of a fighter. So, but he did what he was supposed to do. He went over there, he showed up and showed out. And that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to make a statement when you're the champ and you're fighting maybe a second-tier guy. Well, you're supposed to make a statement. You're supposed to make that statement like, look here, this dude don't belong in the ring with me, And he did that, and that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to let everybody know that, look, I'm not a fluke, that, I'm not just another dude holding the title in this division. You know what I'm saying? And, if you're second, that was the reason my thing with Anthony Joshua was like, look, and even Wilder, I was like, look, they're getting motherfuckers out of there. Regardless of what you say about their competition, they think get them out of there. That's what you're supposed to do. So, props to him for that. And like you said, they put on the show, and that's what you want to do. Like, that's what you want to do. This is your first time in the UK. I bet you everybody will remember him, who Gervonta Davis. If you didn't know who Gervonta Davis was in the UK, then they'll know who he is now because he came over there, he put on an event, and then he had a spectacular, like you said, display with the knockout. So, man, props to him, man. Let's see what happens next.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of controversy in the press conferences and all that in the way and leading up to it, as far as Tank missing by 2 ounces. You have Floyd getting into it with the Walsh brothers during the final press conference and calling them pussies and bums and all kind of shit. So it definitely.
But see but you know what though? You know what though, Twan? Not to cut you off, but let me say something. That's the mad genius of Floyd. It's like Angel Garcia. And I don't think people understood it. Angel would show his ass to take pressure off Danny. And I think Floyd did the same thing here because if the focus is on Floyd, it's not a lot of focus or pressure on Tank. Tank can be free to do what he wants to do and not have to worry about, a big fight questionnaire. So that's kind of a mad genius. And I know some people are going to disagree, but that's how I look at it.
All right, Big Pooh, let me get your breakdown of the fight, man. You actually did a video on it post-fight that you said some interesting things as far as stylistically about what happened in the fight. So could you give us a brief breakdown as far as what Tank was able to do in the fight that flustered Walsh and got him out of there so quick?
Man, Tank came over there and took out the trash, man. Not to disrespect Walsh, but shit, that was a trash performance from him. The first power shot that he felt from Davis, he turned to orthodox. He had no chance. I mean, Tank had the better positioning, and it was just a simple execution of the game plan. Jab straight left to the body, and then once he got him, worrying about the body shots, he took it straight up top in the second round. And in the third round, he caught him slipping, hurt him, and Tank being a pit bull that he is, he's not gonna let up off you once he got you hurt. Kept throwing shots while Walsh was trying to clinch with his free hand, which was the left hand. He mixed in an uppercut in there, and, Walsh finally went down. Referee gave him a chance, really, when he probably should have called it off. Walsh got up, got stopped. I mean, it was all about going to this fight. It was all about how Tank would, deal with, fighting in the UK, against a crowd foreign to what he's used to over here in the States, his composure and would, Walsh would be able to get his respect because looking at the records, both of them, seem to have good power. We know Davis has legit power, and Walsh being 21-0 with 14 KOs, they tell you he has, some pop, but he wasn't able to get off on that at all. And he really didn't, in my opinion, try to really land anything of significance other than when they was in the clinch or when the referee was trying to break it up. He was trying to fight a little dirty. But, I mean, Tank did what he was supposed to do, like Bo said, Davis was the superior fighter going in. We all knew that. Instead of struggle with him and taking him lightly, he got that opening. He went for the kill, and, he was just the better of the other two. Both of them being southpaws. We already knew, Walsh knew what he had to do. He had to establish a good distance, use that jab to, keep Tank at bay, but he couldn't deal with the athleticism or the speed. And like I said, when you always going against a guy that's going, already faster than you, it's different once you get in the ring other than you training and sparring other guys that's similar. because Davis is extremely fast and extremely powerful. And, you know what I'm saying, he got that killer instinct, man, and he just took out the trash this weekend, man. He dropped bombs on Liam Walsh and he went for his title.
Yeah, it's pretty intriguing to see just how fast the speed difference set in. I mean, he must have hit him with one of them straight lefts, you know, off the jab. And, I mean, Walsh was quick to not engage after that. I mean, this was early in the fight. It had to be like round 2 when they started looking down with straight right. And, I mean, Walsh couldn't see it coming, and it ended up being ultimately his downfall was the left hand of Tank. Whether he was clubbing him with it or hitting him with it straight, he just had no answer for it in the fight. Bernard, let me get your thoughts on what you think we should see from Tank in the aftermath of the fight. It's obvious, you know, they're not going to go after the Lomachenko at 130. I don't think that's the route Floyd is going to take with him. So what do you see happening for Tank? You know, there's been a lot of whispers about him fighting Farmer, but you know, we've had this discussion before as far as Farmer needs to get his weight up as far as you know, being able to being thrust in the position to fight Tank right now as well. So what do you see happening for Tank next?
I would love to see the Farmer fight. Don't get me wrong, and I understand what we said. I feel like this. If Farmer could, if he's in the IBF rankings, if he could push himself to get that mandatory spot, that's what he needs to do. As for Tank, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't see him going against anybody else at the 130 or trying to unify. I see him just really fighting a voluntary, defend the belt voluntarily. If not, he'll probably fight the next person who's mandatory. That's why I see Floyd keeping him on a pace before he puts him out there against another champion in the 130-pound division.
All right, then I didn't make a big deal about the 0.2 ounces, but we'll definitely keep an eye out on this moving forward. I don't think Tank is outgrowing the weight class or anything, obviously. 0.2 ounces isn't really a lot. So I wasn't really one of those guys that came down on him when they, you know, people were saying he missed weight twice and whatnot. I kind of didn't. I kind of, you know, I didn't make a big deal out of it personally because we've seen guys come over a lot bigger. You know, 0.2 ounces. That's a turd essentially. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we'll keep an eye on it, but. You know, I think it's a learning lesson for Tank more than anything, you know, because Floyd never had to fight over in the UK. So I don't think he was the best person to lean on as far as advice of, you know, how soon to show over and how soon you should be over there, you know, ahead of the fight and all that. I don't think Floyd was necessarily the best person to reference there. But like I said, this was a learning experience, and hopefully if they have to do it again, they'll be better prepared. We're going to go into our third fight of the evening, which also had some controversy in the scoring. Rances Barthelemy defeated Kiryl Relikh for the WBA junior welterweight title eliminator on Saturday on that card as well, the Gary Russell Jr. undercard. There was some controversy in the fight. A lot of craziness that went on. Man, let me get you guys' take on it. I'll go ahead and start out with Big Cool on this one. Let me get your breakdown on the fight as far as the scoring and what you thought about the decision.
I didn't catch the whole fight. I stepped out at the end. I don't know if it was the 5th or 6th round where Barthelemy was severely hurt when he was back on the ropes. But it was a close fight, man. I think I had I can't think of the guy's name, but I think I had an opponent of 3-2. Before I stepped out. But
Relikh.
Now he hurt. Yeah. What's the name?
Relikh, I believe.
Yeah, Relikh. I had Relikh up 3-2. He hurt Barthelemy, or at least, you know, bucking him early in the first round, I think with a right hand. But I thought Barthelemy, from that point, from what I was watching, he kind of regained his composure, started to box more, use his jab, and kind of get in the rhythm. But he fought stupid by trying to showboat a little too much and going back on the ropes and got himself caught. But I didn't see the rest of the fight. But what I did see, it was a very good fight. They were throwing hands And it was very, crowd pleasing early on.
All right, let me go ahead and pass it on to Bernard on this one, man. What were your thoughts on the fight, the decision? There are some pretty wide scorecards in this one as well, when a lot of people thought it should have been wide the other way around for Relikh. So let me get your thoughts on this.
Well, this is the fight I called. Big Crew called the first half. I probably called the last 4 rounds of the fight. And for what I saw, I wasn't really impressed with Kid Blast. But he did, if I'm correct, I want to see in the 10th or 11th round, he landed a nice body shot on Relikh that could have put him down, and he should have went in for the kill. And he was trying, but he didn't. And in the 12th round, I feel like he kind of laxed off on it. And with that being said, what the commentators were saying, they felt that it was that was a robbery. So until I see the rest of the fight for myself, it takes time. I'm not gonna say it was a robbery. I'm just gonna say right now, I wasn't really with what I did see. I wasn't really impressed with Kid Blast, but I was more really impressed with Relikh and how he fought. And I noticed that the commentator said something like this is the second time he's fought on his opponent's soil or whatever you would say, or fought out of the country, and he didn't get the decision. So you could probably see whatever country he's from. I think he's from Belarus, same place I believe from Yuri Foreman. And he most likely not gonna. He may try to get somewhere where he could fight where he can get the decision next time.
All right, let me pass it on to Bo, the guy that's the Cuban bias. So I know he's gonna have some interesting things to say about the scorecard and say, yeah, it was legit. Go ahead.
Oh, you ready?
Yeah.
Oh, you want my thoughts on it? Okay.
Yeah.
Rances Barthelemy should change his name from Kid Blast to Kid Lucky. He got a gift fucking decision. I had Relikh winning that fight, hands fucking down. Relikh won that fight, hands fucking down. The scorecards were some bullshit. There's no way you can tell me 117, 111 in that fight. That's a motherfucker that wrote down the score when he walked in the goddamn building. How do you come up with 117, 111 when you had 2 knockdowns? What the fuck? So the scorecards were some bullshit. Rance makes his fights harder than what they need to be. He was not using his fucking jab. I actually cued Cuban boxer Cubano like, yo, what the fuck is he doing, man? What the fuck is he doing with his jab? And he was like, yo, man, that's an ongoing story. It's like he refused to use his jab, and he was switching. He got caught. Now, he didn't get knocked down, but the referee felt the ropes is what kept him up. Otherwise, he would have went down, so he gave him a standing 8 count. And you know what? The ref can do that. This rookie we saw against Kid Blast looked way better than the one that fought Ricky Burns. If he'd have fought Ricky Burns like that, he would have been a champion.
Exactly.
You know, he'd have been a champion.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, like I said, he needs to change his name from Kid Blast to Kid Lucky because he got a gift decision. You know, congratulations on it. But Rances Barthelemy is an L waiting to happen. I'm not lying.
And that, I could agree with that.
But why is that? How you feel that way? Because I mean, he seemed to always fight, you know, his own fight. You know, he don't really get too caught up in his.
No, actually, he doesn't. That's the thing, because he doesn't fight his own fight because he's not using his jab consistently. He abandons jab. He keeps his hands too low instead of keeping his hand up to hit you with that jab. He has the height and the reach advantage, and he doesn't use it. He gives it up. He did the same thing against, what's his name, Shaka Khan. He did the same thing. Yeah, he did the same thing against Shaka Khan, okay? And also, when he covers up, it's supposed to be the peekaboo. Watch David Benavidez when he does that peekaboo against Porky Medina. He's actually looking to block. Rance is just covering and waiting on you to stop and move it. So you don't exactly know where the punches are. He keeps his head still too high while throwing, so he gets caught in between the changes. That's how he got caught, okay? So he's not using his jab. He's not using his height. We saw Terence Crawford, the taller, longer guy, use his height and reach. We saw David Benavidez use his height and reach. I wish Rance would do that. I don't know why he stopped doing it. If he'd have used his reach and his jab, it would have been a much easier fight because when he started doing it and he started going to the body, he started gaining control. but he doesn't do it early enough. And then he was switching righty to lefty, and I'm like, dog, that's not working. That's not working.
Yeah.
Like, that's not working. So if he fights a guy who will pump the jab consistently like N'Dam pumps that jab consistently, he may have a problem. If he fights Terence Crawford, who pumps his jab consistently, he's going to have a problem. So until he gets that in his head to use that jab, he's an L waiting to happen. And I like Rance, but he's an L waiting to happen now.
Yeah, he's Cuban. That's why you like him.
No, that's not why I like him. I like him because he's actually a good fighter. If you watch the Rance that fought at 130, 135, this Rance we've seen at 140, I don't know what happened. I'm like, man, what happened? You know,
I mean, honestly, Rances is I'm a big fan of Rances as well. And like I said, ever since the Shapakov fight, he did some things to disappoint me, just like he did in this fight. I mean, giving up his reach, not sticking with what's fucking effective for him. Like, you know the jab is working for you. Why would you get away from it? You know you're hurting this dude to the body. Why are you not using it more? Then he was able to land some counter left hooks, so he started trying to rely on that too much because it was a headshot. I mean, and I guess he thinks it has more effect. I mean, than the body blows, or it looks like it has more effect. So he completely abandoned. going to the body.
This guy's not a power. He's not a power. Like, his power hasn't carried up with it. So he's not a power puncher. You know, he has to rely on volume. Like, and this is messed up to say. His brother looked impressive in his last fight than Rance did in this fight. His brother, he had mad holes in his game, but his Luden actually looked better in his last fight than Rance did in his current fight.
When Rances keeps his jab out there, he's pretty much unstoppable with that fucking 5'11" frame and reach. He makes things harder than he needs to. I mean, like I said, these fights should be easy as fuck for him. I expected him to be a top dog at 140 right away. I mean, getting this fight with Relikh, of course, proves what kind of fighter he is. You know, fighting for a title eliminator right away, but it seems like he's regressing, you know, since the Shapakov fight. He's just falling into some very bad habits that don't wake up from his frame.
It's going to take a loss to get him back on track.
Yeah, you know what? He may have to go back to Mundo. I know he's over at Salas. He's working with Salas, but he may have to go back to Mundo for a minute.
Yeah, we definitely see some holes filling in this game, and like I said, he's not using what's effective for his frame, which would be keeping his jab out there. He throws it like water, which is why I don't understand why he wouldn't keep using it. I mean, he flicks it out there so easily for his size. You got to think he'd keep it a big part of his arsenal, but he likes getting caught into these firefights for some reason, and it's ultimately going to be his downfall out there. I mean, it's going to lead to a loss if he keeps it up. This was the WBA junior welterweight eliminator, so this puts him in place to fight Julius Ndongo, who was actually at the Terence Crawford card. But this puts him as a mandatory for Ndongo, who's also got a mandatory issue with the IBF. So, I mean, he may be waiting for a while before he gets that shot against Julius Ndongo. We're going to go into our next card of the night, which happens to be our word of the night, controversy. We have Jose Uzcategui taking on Andre Dirrell in a IBF interim super middleweight title eliminator. And man, there was so much going on in this fight, back and forth. You got the corners getting involved and all-out melee about to break out in the stands in D.C. I thought we were about to see some Riddick Bowe, Andrew Galata type shit, honestly. But we're going to go ahead and let y'all do the breakdown of this fight, and we're going to get into the controversial moments as well. The fight ended in a DQ when Uzcategui landed a left after the bell on Dirrell that knocked him out and had him on the canvas hurt. So we're going to see from there, man. I'll go ahead and start off with you, Big Cool. Let me get your thoughts on the whole scenario that went down, you know, the ending of the fight. We got the uncle.
Man, I made a prediction video, a breakdown video of this fight before, and I said that, you know, pretty much Dirrell had way more ways to win the fight than Uzcategui did. And so, like, Dirrell, he started off slow as fuck, fighting stupid. Like, that's what got him caught in the James DeGale fight, you know, squaring himself up in exchanges and not being defensively responsible. He got himself caught in the first round, overextending, leaving his chin exposed. And Uzcategui caught him with a right hand, you know, that hurt him bad. He should have been, you know, called for a knockdown or credited a knockdown, but he didn't, you know, the referee didn't, you know, see it that way. You know, then as the fight progressed, he made the first 3 rounds to Uzcategui. Then Andre started, you know, turning the tide of the fight in the 4th round. He started to use his jab more, started to let his hands go, started to move smart. And even though he retreated to the ropes, he was still able to, you know, avoid and make Uzcategui miss a lot of shots. But, you know, as the fight wore down, you know, kept going, you know, you started to get fatigued, and that shit don't work as easy as it does, you know, early in the fight. And that's where it all went downhill for him, man. Like, he was winning the 8th round easy, went to the corner, got lazy. Uzcategui hit him with a 3-punch combination. The first left hook, or the first left hand hurt him. He was cool. Second one is the one that put him out, and I don't even think he was knocked out, honestly, man. Because he was alert, talking to his corner. He said, in my opinion, he said, "What happened?" Some people are saying he asked, "What does he do next?" But anyway, man, he got hit after the bell, from what I heard. But he wouldn't have been in that situation, man, if he wouldn't even got himself on the ropes. Not saying that it's his fault he got hit late, because Uzcategui, you know, is responsible for listening to the bell, but, you know, I understand he was in the midst of a 3-punch combination, so you can't just stop yourself in mid-swing and be like, okay, you know. But, I mean, it's just his luck, like you were saying in the real Boxing Talk 2 chat, like, this shit, just his luck about him getting hit when he down or after the bell ring. And, I mean, like I said, it's not a good look for him, because he get clowned by a lot of boxing fans that feel that he, you know, took a dive and found a way out of a fight that I felt he was taking over, you know what I'm saying? It was going to win handily, but, you know, he's seen that opportunity. I don't know. Only he knows what really happened, you know what I'm saying? And I'm never one to really question a guy, you know, who taking shots, especially from a guy who could punch like Uzcategui and who had already hurt him. So I say I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, say he was legitimately hurt. I think he could have continued if the referee gave him 5 minutes, but if you get somebody after, you know, after the bell ring, he was already won once, then I guess you got to get the DQ. But as far as his uncle, man, that shit was some sucker-ass shit. There wasn't nothing cool about it, man. And I understand that's your nephew. You don't want to see him get hurt. But, man, don't do no shit like that. If Andre said he forgive him, you know, he didn't believe he did it intentionally, why you going to walk your black ass over there and try to hit the man with a left hook? You know what I'm saying?
Fact.
Let the shit go.
He tried to land some pieces on him, man. That wasn't just one. Shit.
He did it. It's just, I mean, Andre had already been awarded the win, regardless of how people look at it. You know what I'm saying? Why even escalate that? And then you're making not only yourself look bad, but you're making Andre and the rest of the family look bad. Like, damn, this how y'all really behave yourself when y'all faced with some adversity. You know what I'm saying? And people trying to make excuses, well, you know, that's his loved one. I mean, it wasn't his mama, you know what I'm saying, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Okay, if it's some shit like that, then I understand. But Andre been fighting for the longest. This ain't the first time he done been roughed up, and won't be the last time until he, before he retired, that he gonna be roughed up. So you gotta, you know, he just fucked himself up, because he gonna go to jail, and he not making it better, not turning himself in. So I mean, and you got Anthony getting in the ring and shit, maybe fucking up his title shot with Caleb Smith, just because you want to act crazy and push somebody, man. Like, the way they acted, besides Andre, you know, himself, is, you know, not something that you want to see from, you know, some professionals and people you put in place to, you know, handle themselves as professionals. So it was a crazy night. It was a bad way to end the fight, but it is what it is. And I think, like I told y'all before we went on air, I think they're going to overturn the decision, and he's going to have to run it back with Uzcategui again to really earn that title shot, because he said he didn't want to win it like this. So if he's true to what he's saying and they rule it, no contest, then he might as well strap back up and go ahead and give him round 2 to Uzcategui and fucking fix the errors of his ways. Man, I think he needs a new trainer, too. I know he was with Chris Bird for 2 fights, but I think he really needs somebody that's going to help him with the mental aspect, man, because he seemed to don't be having it. He seemed like talking to us, he gets it, but when he in the ring, it kind of, once he started to face a little adversity, all that fucking IQ go out the window. So I think maybe he needs to switch trainers, get somebody that kind of fucking, bold, meshes with his personality and can maybe simplify the things he needs to do in a way he can understand, But like I said, it was a crazy ending and, unfortunate for both fighters that it ended the way it did.
Well, let me get your thoughts on it as far as the ending of the fight. People saying Dirrell pretty much quit, took a sucker's way out, going for the DQ and not returning. I'm not sure if he could have took 5 minutes, if that was the option or not, which is what I thought initially would have happened. They would have gave him all the time he needed to recover and, continue to fight. I wasn't expecting a stoppage or DQ immediately. So let me get your thoughts on that.
Before Bo jump in, he did get up and fell back down. Like I said, maybe Bo can tell us how it is. But like I said, I don't think nobody else from 2K is on the panel right now to tell us. I ain't boxed, so I don't know how the shit is, you know what I'm saying? And maybe he did feel the effect, but he got up like he was ready. He was going to go back to the corner, then he fell back down. So I don't know. That looks suspect as it is. But, Bo, take it over, man. You explain that.
Well, here's what happened, okay? For those people that want to make it look like, this is why what the uncle did was extra egregious to me, okay? Because if you watch that fight, right, now, I don't blame the fighter as much as I blame the ref, because when the 10-second tap came, the ref should have been right up on them, ready to jump in and the bell.
Yes, I agree.
And he was not. If you watch, he was in the Crawford Felix Diaz fight, that referee, what's his name? Is it Tony Weeks?
No, Willis.
Okay, Willis, right? He was right up on you with that, so he can jump right in. This referee was like he was back chilling watching the fight. Like, he should have watched the fight, okay? But here's what happened. Andre, like you said, Andre got up against the ropes. The first punch is what got him in trouble. It landed right on the top of his head on the temple, right? Now, as a fighter, when you're throwing a punch, especially when it lands flush, you know when a punch lands as a fighter, if that was a good shot. So you're finishing the combination. So he hit him with the first one. He hit him with the second one. Now, as the bell rang, if you watch, he's coming with the third punch as the bell was ringing. As soon as that bell rang, he's coming with the third punch. But he was in combination mode. He's thinking, I got this dude hurt. And he's finishing off his combinations. Because it was only like maybe, it wasn't even, I'm going to say, dog, it wasn't like he waited a long time after the bell and hit him. It was like maybe dude 0.4 of a second, and he hit him. Now, it was after the bell, but it wasn't one of them things where he was viciously, it was mild, it was intense. He hit this dude with that first punch, and he had him in trouble. Then he hit him with the second punch, and he was finishing off the combination. Why? Because you got a guy in the corner, he's hurt. As a fighter, you're listening for the bells, but you're also focusing on throwing your punches at your opponent. That's what the referee is there for. The referee is there to make sure that, hey, you guys know this bell is coming. He should have been in between them. Now, what makes what the uncle did such sucker shit is because he didn't make a beeline for the fighter. The uncle initially looked like he was talking to somebody on the rope, one of the corner guys on the rope.
Yeah, he talked to him.
Then he turned and punched this motherfucker. See, it wasn't like he made a beeline for the fighter, talking shit to the fighter. Like, well, okay, that's not what he did. He walked up to the trainer, making look, I'm going to talk to the trainer. Then he punched this dude after everything had calmed down, after Andre had walked over to there and chilled everything out. Andre got up, walked over to there, hugged the dude, hugged the corner, chilled everything out, got everything under control, even what was going on outside the ring between Anthony and the other brother. There was shit going on outside the ring with them, okay? Yep. So once all that got chilled out and got chilled down and we had everything back in order, he ruined a great thing that Andre did. Andre went over there, hugged the dude. He ruined a great thing, punched this dude. Now he puts Andre in an even worse position because Andre has to choose defending a family member or say it was morally right.
Yeah.
Okay? And that's the position you put this dude in. You put him in a position where he has to either defend a family member or say something that's right. And that's
you know what he's going to say.
Right, and that's what's kind of messed up to me because that whole situation was jacked up, especially after Andre walked over there, told the dude, hey, man, I forgive you, blah, blah, blah. Now, I thought the referee was wrong when he told Andre, if you can't continue, I'm going to disqualify him. You never tell a fighter that. You never give that fighter that. Yeah, no, he told him that when he was still laying down. He said, listen, if you can't continue, I'm going to disqualify you. You never tell a fighter that. Okay?
Andre, like, that's music to my ears.
Well, I don't think, and I said this, listen, I don't think Andre is the kind of dude who would rather have been disqualified. Yeah, right, exactly. Well, at the very least, the corner heard that shit. They like, hey, stay down, stay down. Okay? So, right, the referee was wrong there. But Andre, I actually had the guy Jose winning the fight. He was up until that point. And, you know, the thing about Andre is, and we say this, right, like Anthony is the guy with the dog in it, but Andre is the more technical fighter. But Andre don't have that focus. And always in a fight, man, you know it's coming with Andre. He's going to lose focus. You know it's coming, dog. He's going to lose focus in the fight and get caught with something. He did it against James. Like you say, he did it against James DeGale. And you know, okay, he's going to lose focus. I'm going to have he's going to get caught. And that's what happened. He was trying to switch up. He was having some success once he started picking up with the, switches. But, for anybody who wants to say that that was vicious and the guy, it wasn't like Andre was down and he hit him after he went down. And like I said again, it was close to the bell when he hit him. But if you're a fighter and you hit a dude, you can visually see he's hurt when you're finishing off the combination. And at that moment, when you finish off the combination, you ain't thinking about listening for no fucking bell. That's what the referee is for. That's his job. You're thinking about, I got this dude against the corner. He's hurt. Shit, let me finish it. Because I'm going to tell you something right now. Had that bell not ring, that bell saved Andre. That bell saved him. Because
if it was like 3 more seconds,
he was going to take the canvas. Yeah, if it was about 15 more seconds, he was going to touch the canvas. So the bell saved him. But what the uncle did was egregious to me because, again, you didn't make a beeline for the fighter. You walked over to one of the trainers. Then you sucker punched this dude. That's messed up, man, in so many ways. That's messed up in so many ways, man.
Yep. I mean,
but Lauren, let me get your take on this. This is a weird situation for Andre because, it weighs bad on him. It's a reflection bad on him because of, what happened with the uncle. Then you got the whole disqualification scenario where people think he took a cheap way out and whatnot in a fight where he was obviously starting to take over. And, to me, he was starting to, even with the 3-punch combination Uzcategui landed at the end, he was winning around 8. So, it was just a changing of the tide to me in the fight from, the first 3 rounds where Uzcategui easily won them to round 4 to the end of the fight to where I think Dirrell was pretty much taking charge, starting to do his thing. And it was starting to become a one-way fight to me as far as effectiveness because Uzcategui stopped throwing and everything, So with that said, Bernard, let me get your thoughts on where Dirrell goes from here other than just running the fight back. It seems like he has to do a lot here to gain, credibility from, what happened with the family, on the outside of the ring, on the inside, and, of course, because people are going to think he took a dive.
Oh, man. I really wish 2K was on. I know he pretty much – I've already where did he go from here?
Either the Gale or a rematch.
You know what? I go for the rematch. At this point in time, I don't really want to appease the fans. Fuck the fans, and I ain't talking about the boxing purists, those that understand and have knowledge of boxing. I'm talking about those that lack knowledge and the casuals. I'll speak on them a little bit later on. But if I was him, to get him back into the picture, because Chris Henderson said something, shout out to Chris, he said that this situation has basically made Andre Dirrell as an undercard fighter. He'll never be in the main event. So if I was Andre, I would run it back a rematch, or if you don't care about it, you want to accept the disqualification, because he said he didn't want to win like this, I'll run and get that rematch. But if he's unable to for whatever reason, if it becomes a no contest, run the rematch. If it doesn't and they stick with the DQ, fight the Gale and get that belt.
I mean, I just don't understand where this big shift is, though. You know what?
But motherfuckers didn't care about
the 168 guy to him being over, and he's not a main event 168 fighter guy because of this. I mean, it's obvious.
No, not just that.
On the cards. I mean, he pulled in close on the cards with James DeGale. I mean, if anything, it's indicative of him being a slow starter. To me, I mean, in a lot of fights against DeGale, against Uzcategui, against even Caparello, he took a knockdown early before coming back and, dominating that one. So to me, it's just indicative of him being a slow-ass starter. I mean, but I don't think that makes him not a top-caliber 168 guy because of something that
not top caliber, but he's relative.
Main event attraction type fighter.
He won't be a main event. He's not a main event. I believe he's still top 168. He's not going to be the name you want to marquee in the main event.
He got to prove himself, especially without a fucking title. He ain't going to be that guy.
Right. Like you would have him on the he can main event in Flint. Or Detroit.
He's a co-main type guy. He's a co-main type guy right now.
But right. But it ain't gonna be like if you put him in L.A. Well, Anthony has a better chance of probably being a main event than him. It's unfortunate you have to say that. It's basically he does have to somewhat prove himself now. And
but my thing is, not to cut you off, but like nobody gave a fuck about Andre for real anyway. But he do something that they find distasteful or whatever they fucking look at it, and now. He just a fucking
but put yourself in his shoes. Like this happened against who
Abraham.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, this guy has been in some very fucking unfortunate circumstances in the
That's what I'm saying.
Let me speak on this.
But they wanna just criticize him for something they feel. I don't feel he took a dive. I honestly don't. If I did, I would say it, but. I mean,
you can't say he was taking a dive in a fight that he was fucking coming back.
We was in the chat group though, Twine.
No, Twine. This how far these. I'm giving the fuckery award to right now to the fucking casual.
You gotta wait till we come to that segment.
I don't give a fuck, man. Fuck them. No, they go because we already on the topic. Y'all already touching on the topic, so it's no point. But I'll give them an award. I won't fully go the fuck in, but y'all already went partially into also as well as the final blow without even going. So I'm going to say that part.
All right, man. So we gonna go into our next topic, man. As you can see, there's a lot of controversy to this fight, and it's looking like we may end up getting a rematch with this one, like with the other fight we talked about previously, to where we're getting Murata and Hassan N'Dam. So we may be seeing the same thing with this Dirrell and Uzcategui fight. But I don't think it's a bad thing. Like I said, it was a fairly even fight. It was probably even. I mean, considering what was going on. So to me, I wouldn't mind seeing it ran back. It was highly competitive. Hopefully we can see Dirrell come back to go back to the drawing board and correct what he didn't do right early in that fight.
Box Dirrell, box.
Yeah, double up on your damn jab. You had him froze every time.
Thank you,
every time, man. Double up. You had him froze. Single shots. You know what I'm saying? He was looking away at him like it was nothing, man. So I mean, double up on your jab. You had him froze easily there. And, he didn't know he was flustered. He didn't know what was coming next every time he doubled up off that jab. So that's what I'd like to see in the next fight. We're going to go into the next review of the titles of the evening. One of my favorite fighters, Gary Russell Jr., he defended his WBC featherweight title against Oscar Escandon, winning by, I believe, a 7th-round knockout. Man, it was a pretty exciting fight, man. Escandon, tough little dude, man, very tough. I'm not sure you got a chance to see this one. He wants to go in on it first as far as what you took away from the fight. Bernard, too cool. Big cool.
I've seen it. Like I said, Bernard, too cool.
Big cool. What you take away from the fight as far as Gary Russell? It's been his first defense in 13 months. So, what did you take away from seeing him in the ring?
Pretty much that his power seemed to be increasing. I don't know. I know people, he wasn't known as a big puncher. To me, the way he's folding these guys up, maybe it's just because of the level of competition, but he seemed to have a really, really good punch, on him. But other than that, he is what we know he is. He's probably got the fastest hands in boxing, terrific boxer. But he did prove this weekend that he don't mind slugging it out, fighting in the phone booth type fight. And he seemed to got a pretty good chin. He took a good solid left hook from Escandon when he was in the midst of after he had hurt him, and Escandon landed a sneaky left hook and it kind of buckled him, but it didn't hurt him. So it's just time for him to face the top guys to really put that skill level on display. And like you be saying, Twan, he the best featherweight in the world. I would favor him over any guy at 126 easily. Just too much speed, too much power, too much ability in the ring. What's going to probably put him at a disadvantage as he moves up, not to jump too much in the future, is that he's a small guy. So, like I said, man, he put on a good show in front of his hometown fans, and props to him for, apologizing for the shit that happened before as well, being a guy that kind of hosting the fight, he took responsibility even though it wasn't his job. So, he put on a good performance, man.
Yeah, I just want to chime in on us seeing more knockdowns from Gary Russell. He's sitting down on his punches now. That's something we've seen since the Johnny Gonzalez fight. He's actually sitting down on his punches as opposed to, slapping off the fast combinations. He's actually turning them over, sitting down on them now. So yeah, it's a lot to, he's a dangerous boy like that, man. We've seen him utilizing the uppercut heavily in this fight.
Ooh,
those uppercuts were thunderous, man. Let me go ahead and pass it on to Bernard, man. Let me get your thoughts about Gary Russell in this fight.
He came on strong in the first 3 rounds of the fight. He got the knockdown, but like at times he kind of gassed out because he was going for that knockout. From that point forward, he pretty much did what he was supposed to do. He got him out of there. From this point forward, I would like to see, I'll piggyback on what you said. He's sitting down on his punches. That's a good thing. But I would like to also see him pace himself. And don't always have to just constantly going in and try to knock a person out. You want to, but build up to it when the opportunity comes. Pace yourself, because if you're starting to gas out early, a little too early, his opponent could take advantage. Definitely if he goes against another champion, like Leah Santa Cruz or Adam Mares.
Okay. Bo, let me get your thoughts on Russell as far as what's next for him. It's looking like he wants to unify at 126. If not, he's been saying he's going to move up to 130, and, he's been wanting the end of his career facing Lomachenko, which is what he's been putting out there. Let me get your thoughts on what's next for Russell, because I don't think, any of the other 126 guys really want to deal with him outside of Mares. Might be the only one that's willing to fight him just because, he'll fight whoever. It's not necessarily all business with him. Go ahead and chime in, man.
What's next for Gary Russell? I think that's all up to him. He's been inactive. and it's self-inducing actor. He hasn't been hurt or anything. At one point, we actually thought he had 1 foot out the ring because he was training his brother and everything like that. So I can't say it was next for him. If he wants to fight Lomachenko, go fight Lomachenko. I said this once, I'll say it again. I'm kind of tired of hearing him saying that. Just go fight him. Same thing with Rigo. You know, fuck, just stop. Go fight him. You know, stop talking. Go fight, or at least, you know what I'm saying, make the attempt and try to fight him. Because I agree with you. I don't think nobody else at 126 wants to see it. He's actually sitting down on his punches now, so it ain't just about speed. There's some power behind him. Like you said, those uppercuts were thunderous. So he's actually sitting down on some punches. I think since the loss to Lomachenko, he has gotten better, and he has shown us some. That loss actually helped him, I believe, in my opinion. So, and we all know, and you know, no disrespect to my UK fans, but he punched Lee Shelby when he was sitting right there next to him.
Pulled his whole card. He pulled 2K's whole card. I mean, not 2K's, but Shelby's.
Right, he pulled that whole card right there while he on national TV. He was sitting there. He said, "But I want to say something." What was it? He's right there on TV. So, but and you know what? That's what you want to see. You want to see that, you know, that seriousness. I just really don't know what's next for him. What I hope isn't next for him is inactivity. I hope he fights again. I hope he fights again this year. Because, like I say, his inactivity has been self-induced. And a lot of, you know what, and this time I do want to say, a lot of people want to blame Al Heyman for guys' inactivity, and that you can't. That's not true. Some of these inactivities is self-induced. Like, even with the Dirrell brothers, some of that stuff is self-induced for whatever reason. Some of that stuff is self-induced. Andy Lee, we ain't seen him. Poster, we ain't seen Victor Poster. We sure the hell ain't seen Timothy Bradley. So that's just Heyman. Who got guys ain't showing up, people.
Those guys,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It ain't just Heyman, people. Some of these guys' layoffs is self-induced layoffs. Kodo, these are self-induced layoffs. So I just don't hope, you know, you got a big win, you got people interested in watching you, now get another fight. Even if you can't get one of the champions in there, fight somebody in the top 5 of the belt that you hold. Stay busy. Stay active. Say what you want to say about Gennady Golovkin, but that's what he did. He at least kept fighting guys ranked in the top 5 of his division, and that keeps you relevant. You know, that's what I want. Gary Russell, you got a big knockout. Now, you want to stay relevant? Guess what you do? You keep fighting guys, because as long as you're fighting, knocking dudes out, people are going to say, well, how come Shelby ain't fighting him? How come Leo Santa Cruz ain't fighting him? How come Carl France ain't fighting him? How come Adam Lamar ain't fighting him? People will start talking about those fights. That's when it happens for you. So you got to stay busy.
Yeah, you know, like I said, Gary Russell's one of my favorite fighters, but he's falling under the guise of inactivity because of injuries and, you know, a bunch of other reasons. As far as 126, it's not looking like he's going to get Santa Cruz in there. Selby damn sure don't want him. And it's looking like the fight against Valdez, you know, that's another no-go because it's a top-ranked guy. So, I mean, honestly, yeah, I can honestly say we probably going to see him at 130 before we see him unify against another champ at 126 from the likelihood and the way things are looking, which would be unfortunate because, to me, like I said, he's ultimately the best guy at 126. And, you know, he won't have the chance to unify against the others for whatever reasons. That said, we're going to go ahead and jump into another review from the night. Terence Crawford, you know, with unanimous decision, actually TKO victory over Felix Diaz in their fight on Saturday night in Madison Square Garden and retained his 140-pound belts, the WBC and WBO belts, I believe. Man, I'm not sure if there's much to break down here, but I'll go ahead and let Bo start off on this one as far as what we saw in this fight from both fighters. And, I mean, what we saw from Terence Crawford as well.
Well, what we saw from both fighters, this is what we saw, and this is why I picked Crawford to win. And I said this. I said both Crawford and Felix Diaz are some dogs. Okay, Felix Diaz got that dog in him. Terence Crawford got that dog in him. Both these dudes are hungry young dudes. Both these dudes come to get it, and they come to bring it. But the And one thing Crawford is, that Felix Diaz isn't, is we saw Crawford, just like we saw when he fought Victor Postal, he has more dimensions to him. And Felix Diaz does not. I haven't seen Felix Diaz show me a different dimension. You know, like the way he fought Sandy Vasquez is the same way he fought Lamont Peterson. He didn't show me a different dimension. Terence Crawford is showing you he has different dimensions. And that is ultimately what made the difference. He fought his fight by using his height. He used his range. He showed his ring intelligence. Okay, even in the exchanges, he made sure he was in total control of everything out there. When Felix Diaz would hit him with something, Terence would hit him right back. He refused to allow this dude to get any kind of momentum. And it was the mental discouragement game that he was playing with Felix Diaz, and eventually broke him down. He eventually broke this dude down. And we saw Terence Crawford, and I said this, and people can disagree, I said this dude had just moved into the elite level status. Because when you're beating guys like Felix Diaz and Victor Postal as easily as you're beating them, and it's because people don't know who they are. I just got to talking to somebody a second ago talking about some Postal wasn't a live dog. I'm like, are you fucking stupid? How you gonna tell me Postal was not a live dog? The dude got to be Lucas Matisse. It's the guy that everybody thought Danny Garcia was running from, right? Apparently everybody thought Danny Garcia didn't want to fight him. Now Crawford beats him and he's not a live dog? Okay, Gamboa. Crawford beats Gamboa and like, well, he had 10 problems earlier, but he never got dominated like he did against Crawford. Okay? That never happened. So what's happening to Terence Crawford, and I said this, and this is why like people who want to say Tank Davis don't want to fight or Floyd don't want him to fight Lomachenko. But see, this is the reason why, because what happened was Crawford, instead of letting the Postal fight build, he said, no, give me Postal right away. And by doing that, people don't know who Postal is, so they're going to discredit him or not give him full credit for beating a very quality opponent. Okay? He beat a quality opponent. The opponent, these guys he's beating high B-level opponents very easily. Okay? If you look at Postal's skill set, that's a high B-level, maybe low A- type of opponent. If you look at Felix Diaz's skill set, because he beat Lamont Peterson, that's a high B-level opponent, and he beat him easily. Why? Because Terence Crawford is crossed over into elite level status. We saw a guy in Terence Crawford that showed you that, listen, I can box you from the outside. I can switch lefty to righty and be just as effective either way. I can pretty much do whatever I want in this ring. The sad part is because people don't know who his opponents are, he's not getting the full credit. Like, he's not getting that Lomachenko, Gennady Golovkin credit. And he's doing exactly what they're doing in the same fashion they're doing it in. He's just not getting that credit because people don't know who his opponents are. That's the sad part. But Terence Crawford showed us that, hey, I don't care who you are, who you're in this ring with. I have full control of this ring, and that's the reason why he's a big threat if he goes to 147. He's a huge threat if he goes to 147. That's the reason why we don't think nobody can beat this dude at 140. And if he goes to 147, motherfuckers better watch their heads. Danny Garcia, watch your head. Keith Thurman, watch your head. Sean Porter, watch your fucking head. Because this dude, he's intelligent enough to find your weakness and know what his strength is and increase his strength and display your weakness. That's how good this boy can be.
All right, so I guess we'll get into that a little bit afterwards. But, I mean, let me get everybody else's thoughts as far as what's next for him at 140. Like, we're thinking it would be a Julie Shandango fight, which is looking least likely by today with the way we getting the blocking of the unifications by the IBF and everybody else. I mean, so if Terence Crawford is going to stay at 140, I mean, to me, there wasn't too many more challenges at the weight class outside of, me. There's only a couple of people I really wanted to see him face. Diaz, Granados being another one. There's not really many people I really want to see him against at 140 right now. It's just more meshing the styles that I want to see him against just to keep gauging him. But I don't really think there's anybody at 140 that tests him or that I need to see him against. So that said, what do you guys think is next for him at 140 if the N'Dam unification isn't a possibility. I'll go ahead and start off with you, Bernard.
What does he need to do at 140?
Yeah,
What's
there's
next
no
for him?
there's no N'Dam unification. What is he? What's left for him on 140?
You know what? I would like to see, if he can't get in Dongo, I would like to see him fight Rances Barthelemy.
Yeah.
You want to see Rams get beat?
Yeah. That's definitely one of the intriguing fights, I think. Like I said, there's only a couple guys at 140. Granados, Rances was one of them, considering I didn't think he was going to look as bad as he did against Relikh. So I don't even know right now. But,
here's my thing. The Adrian Granados, I do not want to see Adrian Granados go in there. Because I'll tell you right now, I'm not saying that he could make it a fight. Don't get me wrong, but he's going. I feel like you're basically throwing him in there, and he's turning into the junior welterweight Gabriel Rosado. He brings it, and I don't want to see him in there with Granados right now. Let Granados get him a couple wins under the book when he go against Terence Crawford or a champion at that weight division. Hey, I want to see Granados against Ricky Burns. Crawford, I said Rances. Shoot. Wow, there's really nobody else at 140 other than wow. Anybody moving up from 135?
Mikey Garcia, maybe.
Talking about Garcia, maybe, but there's some other talks about
Ain't nobody in no hurry to leave 135 to go run into that shit. Ain't nobody in no hurry. Ain't nobody in no hurry at 135 in a hurry to run up to 140 and have to run into that shit. I'm sorry, dog. No, the only dude I could possibly see is Mikey Garcia.
Right,
that's the only dude. That's the only guy.
Man, the 140 division is scarce right now. That's the best.
Man, I think you need to go and try to unify.
Mm-hmm.
Then, and just, if you can't unify, take your black ass on up and get that big money.
Supposedly, I didn't hear the post-fight interview, but he called out Pacquiao and Keith Thurman, I'm guessing.
Pacquiao, Keith Thurman, and Ndongo.
Yeah, Ndongo.
He called out Pacquiao. Pacquiao, Keith Thurman.
The Keith Thurman call out was, I won't say it's surprising, but it was surprising, but it's not surprising. But yeah, just considering who he's with and
hey,
and then he just they called him weak because he had surgery.
He didn't call out Spence, was really trying to trip me out because Mike wait for that.
He called out champions though. That's why he called out.
You can't call out Spence.
But still, we know he's
because he ain't
gonna give him that work.
So that is true. That is true.
Anybody beat him at 147 is gonna be Spence. Spence gonna give him that work.
Hold on, but did y'all know the last time Spence's name was brought up? Crawford was like, "Yeah, hey, he's supposed to be moving up to 154." No. So no.
He said that?
Hey, hold on. Yeah. So,
I think he might have did say that. I think he might have did say that shit. Yeah.
No, so no.
Yeah, I think he said that. Yeah, I think he might have said that.
So when I sit here and what I'm trying to say basically is, yeah, of course you go. Why does everybody call Keith Thurman out now? Yeah, the man is supposed to say, Keith
Thurman's the man at 147. Why not?
He is, but you call him right.
Also see flaws.
I think it's kind of convenient to call him out when he's got this poster that he had the surgery on his elbow. You know what I'm saying?
Wait a minute, dog.
Motherfuckers called out Floyd when he retired.
I'm about to say this is what kills me. He called out Ndongo, Pacquiao, and Thurman. And you know what the fucking mainstream media ran with? Oh, he called out Thurman. He called out Thurman. Motherfucker, he also said Pacquiao. How come we only talking about that shit? Why is Pacquiao? He wants to get a fucking pass. But real quick, why is Manny Pacquiao continuing getting a fucking pass on fighting a top-level fucking dude? This motherfucker continues to get a pass. Okay? Brandon fucking Rios. Goddamn it, Chris fucking Algieri. Now this goddamn fucking Jeff Horn. He continues to get a fucking pass on fighting top fucking dudes. What the fuck, man? point to do.
But you know what I'm gonna say though? I'm gonna say this. I would love for Crawford to be able to unify and finally get that big fight he's been wanting with Pacquiao. He move up to 147, or Pacquiao want to move down to 140. You know, he have all the titles to be a huge unification bout, or at least he can bring that to the table. Like, look, I'm the unified, 140 champion. Got all 5 belts. I mean, I think that fight has to happen. I think that fight has to happen. And Dogo fight, because it's the passing of the torch, man.
And no, let me say this too.
The IBF is gonna find a way to fuck it up.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say that. The IBF is gonna fuck that shit up right now. They're gonna fuck it up right now.
Once Ndongo is healed from his injury, he can go on and take out his mandatory, and let Crawford. Once he take so Ndongo has hurt his hand, so I guess he had surgery. Once he get done, let him take out his fucking mandatory, and then boom, we can get that cracking by the end of the year. End of the year, not early next year. In the meantime,
oh man, fuck it. I don't know. I guess I want to rush to see the fights. I want to see happen, but I understand it's a process.
But if the IBF gonna cock block it, you might as well just go on and just let them motherfuckers have it. Let them have it. If they cock block it with a second mandatory fight, then we know they on some bullshit.
I mean, you got to think one of the other organizations might be the one to do that shit then.
Well, he got the WBC or the WBO. Well, he can fight one. In the meantime, Crawford can fight one of his mandatory. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
He can fight a mandatory.
There's honestly at 140, there's not many people that I really care to see Terence against outside of Rances, fucking Granados, and probably Ndongo. And Ndongo is kind of fly by night with everybody. Can I get my point out before you shut down questions down?
I mean, you already cut me off too, so might as well. So don't get your point out, dude.
Wait up, Bernard. You got anything else you wanna chime in before we? I guess I got to let you answer your question, man.
Did Broner? Do you think Broner left the division because of Terence Crawford?
No. He trying to play Broner, man. Broner a lot of shit, but he ain't no scary ass dude.
Yeah, he ain't scary. Yeah, he ran because he's lazy. That's what it is. It ain't got nothing to do with Crawford.
Ain't too many motherfuckers was fighting McDonough when they ain't really have to, you know what I'm saying? Even though that was a mandatory, whatever the fuck you want to call it, but people try to clown Broner, rightfully so, but he ain't never been no pussy.
He ain't never ducked a fight or getting into a fight. I mean,
all
so
about the money.
Yeah, so I don't think it's anything like that.
Who's to say he can't beat Crawford? I mean, I know Crawford great, but anybody can be beat, man. No matter how good you are.
That's not true. There's one dude that ain't never lost.
Well, there's a couple of them that ain't never lost, but man.
Yeah, and the more we see of Crawford, we're starting to fall into it. I hear Bo even talking about 147 being a division that he'll dominate. It seems like
I don't know if he's going to dominate. I don't know if he's going to dominate 147.
I'm not saying dominate, but there's some dudes that they need to watch themselves. Like,
yeah, the Thurman fight is. I was pretty interested about the Thurman call out.
Right.
I mean, Diaz actually landed some nice stuff against him, man. And you got to think.
Man, Diaz got his ass beat, man. Don't give out moral victories, man.
No, I ain't giving up damn moral victories. I'm talking about what the hell Crawford got hit with. I mean, going up to 147. I mean, I won't say that. And Diaz isn't even a power puncher. That's what I'm saying. Like, these guys at 147. Compared to Diaz, he is. That's reflective of record.
When's the last time he something like somebody else?
Okay, but who is Diaz knocked out other than motherfucking Vasquez?
Wait a minute. When was the last time Keith Thurman? But Diaz's name ain't no one time. Keith Thurman's name is one time. So when's the last time?
But he put people down still. You got to think. Well, yeah, he's put him. Yeah, he had.
That's why he called him out, man. He called him out.
Stop.
They see he ain't the puncher that they thought, and they see vulnerabilities in his fucking, in his skill set. So, I mean, Thurman.
Bottom line, the power is there. I mean, we're not saying Diaz was ever anything a power puncher like Thurman. That's what I'm getting at 147.
Wait a minute, dog. Okay, hold on. Can you honestly sit there and tell me that you think if it was a straight up boxing match, Keith Thurman can outbox Crawford?
It has nothing to do with that, Bo. I'm talking about the punches. Like he got hit with some serious. He got hit with the power.
Okay, and when was the last time Thurman got somebody else? Wait a minute, Thurman top Porter. Thurman top motherfucking Danny Garcia, who came up for 140, didn't knock him out.
Right.
These are all bigger 140 guys. I mean, Porter is a big guy, period. Like, he's not even a natural 147.
Danny Garcia came up for 140. Okay,
Garcia was a big 140. Like, I'm saying, like,
when was the last time he knocked somebody? When was the last time? One time somebody. That's all I'm asking. When was the last time he one time?
I don't know. You look it up, bro. Why you asking me? You asking, so you know. Bottom line is, 147, I wonder, can Crawford handle the power punchers? That's bottom line. That's my question. It doesn't apply to just Thurman. Why are you stuck on Thurman?
Okay, why are you stuck on it? I'm asking. What power punches is that 140?
Why are you stuck on Thurman? When was the last time you saw him? Is he the only power puncher at 147?
Hey, hold on.
Is that the only power puncher at 147?
Let's get the order here.
Is that the only power puncher at 147?
You said he can't handle the power at 147. Okay,
I said I have questions. I didn't say he didn't.
It's a legitimate question. He got hurt by Crawford briefly. I mean, you know.
And here's the big question: what power punches are at 147?
Spence, Thurman, Porter got underrated.
Yeah, a lot of these guys have power up there. It's a different power. Hey, you better put some bass in your voice and stop sounding like a little girl talking to me. all that high tone stuff.
You know what? I'm not surprised.
Over there getting excited.
Donnie Dickinson would say some bullshit like that.
You see how he got to resort to a class we ain't even talking about.
Hey, like I said, it is a legitimate question, man. It is a legitimate question.
Hey, I got one question. Why did Diaz abandon his jab? He didn't hardly use a jab in that fight.
It didn't even matter, bro.
He didn't use head movement. He didn't do anything. I mean, I can understand. They knew what they had to do to win the fight and be a pressure fighter, but, I mean, to not have a jab, to not use head movement, I mean, you lost right there pretty much already. If you're not going to use those two things, and you got to pressure a guy. So, I mean, right there it was already a lost call.
Crawford pet that motherfucker on the head like he was a dog. He pet that motherfucker on the head like he was a dog. I was like, that's
well, and plus he swelled up. I think one of his eyes was swollen up. He could barely see him. When you can you don't know to move your head because you can.
Like you said, there's a lot of questions that can be mentioned about Crawford going up to 170 best off this fight against Diaz. His power going up,
What the fuck are you like going to 170? What kind of shit is that you talking about? You're talking right about now.
Anybody else know what Bill's saying? Because his voice is a little bit high pitched right now. I can't make out none of that high pitch shit.
Let's this out. Yo,
this nigga having some computer gonna do some Greg Grady shit. Going through puberty.
170. This motherfucker ain't smoking no weed, eating no Twinkies tonight.
This motherfucker going through puberty on the
all right, man. Let's move to the next topic, man.
Yeah. With that said, we gonna go into our last breakdown of the night, man. The monster, Naoya Inoue, he made quick work of his mandatory defense, which was Ricardo Rodriguez defended his WBA Super Flyweight title. Knocked him out in what I believe the second round. Left hook, crook bandits. Both he knocked him down twice in the second round, both off the left hooks. Second one left Ricardo Rodriguez with the looked like a torn ACL because he got weak in the knees like Steve Harrington. It was just bad. Let me see if you guys got a chance to see this fight. It wasn't much to break down. It's quick destruction. I think Big Pooh might have seen it because we were talking about it in the inbox. So let me get your thoughts on the Monsters' performance.
You said whose performance?
Naoya Inoue.
I mean, it was a good performance. He got his ass out of there. I mean, it wasn't really. He didn't have to display too much skill because he knew he was facing a guy that was, far inferior than him. But I mean, that power, that left hook, like you said, man, watching him, thought he could do towards the ACL, the way he folded, that knee buckled and folded behind him when he got knocked out. I mean, like, I was just ready for him to, fight the guy, maybe Chocolatito or Strata, those guys, or Quadras, it's time for him to fight those type guys. But, I mean, we ain't going to really see how good he is at this point until you face those guys. But I think he'll bowl well and probably beat all three of them, to be honest. But we still got to see. But it was a good fight.
All right, who else was able to catch this one?
I was able to watch it with your sorry ass. You want me to comment on it?
Yeah, go ahead, man. Yeah, you still mad. What you mad about, man?
Do you need to run up?
Why are you mad?
Do you need to run up a joint? Do you need to run up a fucking joint and take you a nap, nigga, while I talk?
Nah, man. Go ahead and comment. But I'm just like, why you so upset, man?
Ain't nobody upset. No, ain't nobody upset. I just realized that, I'm talking to somebody that's probably sounded like a casual because, they support a bitch-ass motherfucker that holds a bitch-ass belt. But as far as Naoya Inoue, that was, what, the thing about that fight, we, 2K said something a while back, and they said that if Roman Gonzalez is going to fight Inoue, they need to do it now and not let him get a couple of fights beneath his belt because he's going to be a problem. Well, he's a problem because if you fight him now, I know Big Cool said that ain't too much to break down, but if you watch it, man, there was a lot more movement from his upper body than normal. Normally, Inoue was just standing there with his hand with the high guard and let you punch. This time, he was actually looking to counter. He was actually looking to catch and shoot. He was pivoting, moving his upper body, pivoting, dodging punches and coming back with stuff, doubling up on his hook, and his jab was it was like that pole-like George Foreman type jab. His jab is what was controlling the pace from the moment the fight started. And he was using that to set everything up. Normally, he don't, set things up. He kind of just forces it. But this time, he set it up. So it was a good performance. And I agree with you. If I actually would want to see him go up to 118 and him and Yamanaka, which is probably going to be a super fight that they're going to probably look like that's what they're leaning to make over in Japan. That's going to be a super fight.
Though.
Huh?
He's going to knock his ass out.
Yeah, but that's going to be a super fight.
Yeah,
that's going to be a super fight. And I think that's what they're getting to. But I agree with you. Like, the Estradas, and all them dudes, that would be, and it's like Quadras. The question is, I don't know if he's going to come over here or they're going to go over there because the way Naoya Inoue is making it up, you can make money fighting him in Japan. The question is,
going over there.
But the question is, would you get that same amount of money with him fighting over here? Now he's going to have to eventually come over here because he needs that notoriety. But as it stands right now, the best route is to go over there if you're talking about making some money. But that's why I don't know if those fights you're talking about are happening right now because Estrella, Cuellar, them dudes can fight each other and do pretty good, and they can even probably try to get back in the Roman Gonzalez hunt and do pretty good. I don't know if they're willing to take that risk and go over to Japan. That's why I'm just like they might be gearing up for a Yamanaka fight.
All right. With that said,
hey, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question real quick. I mean, I don't want to sound like crazy, but what did Rigo say? Did he say he'll fight at from anywhere from 118 to
118 to 126?
What you think about him versus Inoue? I know it sounds crazy.
Rigo's not going to 126. Man.
No, I'm talking about what about Rigo? I mean, you think he would take that fight if it was.
I don't think they would be so quick to take that for Inoue. That's the biggest thing.
No, they wouldn't take it for Inoue, but I do know there's interest from Rigo's people about maybe Yamanaka or even Tate.
Okay, I was just thinking. I think that would be a good. I mean, that's a very intriguing fight.
I kind of think Inoue is just one of those guys I need to see grow at 118 before I see him in there against the top guys like Tete and Yamanaka. Like, I think Yamanaka fight could be made immediately just because it's Japan, but, like, I'd honestly want to see him against somebody before I see him against a Tete, you know, or Rigo at 118, just because I think those guys are different caliber fighters.
Maybe he can fight for Reno, or maybe sometimes, you know, somebody get a learning experience from, you know.
Yeah, obviously Yamanaka is the big money fight and probably more winnable for him. But I think Tete and Rigo are definitely some problems for him at this stage of his career. Tete, because of his height, hard to prepare for. I mean, and plus he'll be moving up, you know. So it's definitely something a harder task to prepare for as opposed to Yamanaka, who we've seen a lot more of, you know, being out there in Japan already. I kind of think he'll stick around 115 for the time being, just to see if there's some fights that open up with the big names. But you know, we'll see how it goes, man.
You know what? That's the curse of that lower weight division, is no respect at all. And those are some of the guys that put on the best fights and will fight each other.
But HBO just spend the money to make these fights, man, because they don't want to pay.
Nah, they're not. Well, the thing is, Chocolatito's demanding a lot of money now to make these fights against the.
Rightfully so.
I mean, the Estradas and even a rematch for Quadras and Inoue. You know, he's asking for a whole lot more money. So I mean, it's not easy to make those fights.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question, man?
Yeah.
Is it just me, or does it seem like in HBO, whenever one of these motherfuckers, you know, asks for a little bit more money, they seem to take an L or a draw?
Well, I mean,
I mean, we saw this happen to Walters. We saw this happen to fucking Timothy Bradley. I mean, dog, it I don't know, man.
I don't know. I think that I mean, it could be. HBO just need to go and give it up, man. Like, I wish these fighters were with Showtime. We could have, like, the 2017 version of the, what the fuck was it? The Bantamweight, Super, not the Super C, was it Super 4? Whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, shit, because there's a lot of divisions that's starting to boom. 168 starting to come back to the forefront, too. So, man, it's a lot of good boxing that's we in store for in the future. But, yeah. HBO full of shit.
So we're going to go into our next topic of the evening, the Senior Citizen Bowl. This one should tickle Bowl's fancy a little bit. Shannon Briggs tested dirty for a PED over the weekend prior to his WBA Heavyweight title shot against Escandon. You know, Bo used to be a training partner for him back in the heyday, you know, when he came out of the Underground Railroad.
Back in 1940s.
back when Al Capone first started.
He said the Prohibition era. The Prohibition
era. But yeah, with that said, man, we don't know what's gonna happen with the fight. Is it gonna be canceled or whatnot? So let me get everybody's opinion. I haven't really seen the latest update as far as what they're gonna do about the sanctioning of the fight since this dirty test came up. So let me pass it on to one of y'all see if I can get some more insight on it. But we'll start off with you since you were in the senior citizen home with Escandon prior to this announcement.
They probably gonna give everybody all of their $100 back, but I mean, remember, wait a minute. But I'm just saying, how poetic justice is this? Okay, here's a guy in Briggs that in his late 40s looked like that. And the only way you look like that is you have to be taking something. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If you're in your late 40s, you look like that, you have to be taking something. But how tripped out is it that here's a guy in Briggs and Perez who's in a position because the WBA refused to do what was right by putting Ortiz in that position, or do what was right by telling Ustinov no, you got to take this drug test to fight Ortiz, or do what was right when Bronny first tested and gave him another chance. How poetic is this that now, here it is, this shit has happened yet again to y'all, and now we still stuck not knowing what's going to happen with a belt between two guys, and even though me and Fairs is cool, but let's just keep it real. They're not really relevant. Like, this was a fight, they had to redo a purse bid because it didn't meet the minimum requirement of a purse bid to make a fight. So, honestly, man, at this point, I don't know what the WBA is going to do. Somebody suggested giving Fairs the belt, and I feel like that's wrong. You don't just give a guy a belt; you got to fight for it. But I mean, what do you do? Because Ortiz is already a mandatory for one of the other belts, so you can't pull him in. And at this point now, I mean, did you take the chance on trying to reschedule, redo a purse bid, remake a fight all over again? Because for damn sure you can't let the fight happen. The man tests positive, and the fight is June the 2nd. I really don't know what's going to happen, what's going to go on, but it's just a shame. And it's a shame, but at the same time, I'm not surprised because this is the WBA. You supposed to be consolidating your fucking belts anyway. What happened to that? Like the same belt that Jacobs just fought Golovkin for, you motherfuckers just had that belt back out and fucking N'Dam got it. So it is what it is, man.
All right, let me pass it along the panel because it's looking like it's in the air whether this fight will still be sanctioned or not. It's looking like it's going to be pulled at the moment, and yeah, Perez is going to be on the outro, on the outside looking in once again, waiting for this shot, you know, that he's been waiting for, what 2 years already, considering what happened in the Brown and Shagayev incident situation.
That nigga need to go and fight and lose, man.
Yeah, and they had been going through rigorous testing with Veda the whole time, so, I mean, just makes you wonder if this was kind of things been going on for a minute in Shannon's camp or not. Let me go ahead and get you guys' take on this. Has the whole Let's Go champ been a fraud, or is this anomaly? Let me get you guys' thoughts on it. I'll start off with you, Big Bull.
I mean, shit, I don't know what it's been. I don't really care too much about it. I mean, Shannon Briggs entertaining, but I wasn't checking for this fight. Hell, I was hoping they both knock each other out at the damn same time. So, shit, nobody be crowned a winner. But, I mean, whatever the old boy name is, both Cuban brothers going to have to fight somebody. And he looked bad in the fucking press conference. Looked like he don't want to really fight for the damn title. He just got to, you know, do it just because he been owed it so long. He might as well go through with it. I mean, I'm not surprised.
You talking about Fred Oquendo? Don't you ever, you sloppy Joe eating motherfucker, confuse a Puerto Rican for a Cuban. Don't you ever do that.
Whatever the fuck he is, shit. Whatever the fuck, hell, shit. Anyway, that nigga don't look fit to fight for a damn title, man. He look like he's just doing it because, like I said, he owed them something, or he feel like, damn, they held me down this long, let me go and fight. But, yeah, I ain't surprised Shannon Briggs took, takes the, look how ripped he is, man. Motherfuckers that age ripped like that, they got to be on some shit. Yeah, I'm surprised that motherfucker ain't had a heart attack or something. The way he be screaming, "Let's go, champ!" Sweating, bang, about to pop out his damn neck and shit. Yeah, that motherfucker.
Bernard, what do you think? What do you think that leaves the WBA right now, man? They put their foot in their mouths as far as this consolidation shit. Especially in the case of the heavyweight division, they've really blown this one out of the water as far as the things they've done and screwing Luis Ortiz, and now this happening with Perez and Shannon. What's the WBO? I mean, can they save face from the situation at all?
The WBA, you know what? I had to disagree with both. I say give Ortiz a shot, man. I thought let his head heal. I know he wants Joshua. If the WBA isn't, well, apparently they don't go by their word about consolidating the belts. But if I was Ortiz, and I was the WBA. I'll give Ortiz the shot to fight Fez for that belt. Get the belt, give Force a unification before the W Super and the W regular heavyweight champion. That's how they can make it face right now. That's how they can make it face. They face. As for Shannon,
he could be waiting forever for that though. That's the problem. He could be waiting forever for that, man.
This is just a scenario I'm putting out there for them to stay face. I ain't saying what he should do. I mean, this I'm just saying this is what the WBA could do to stay face in the situation to make up for a lot of crap. I mean, Fez still gets his shot. He has to go against somebody who gets his shot too as well. That's been kind of pushed around, stripped of the interim and everything. Once that happens, push the Joshua and the winner of the Fez and Ortiz bout to a unification bout, and don't put no regular belt out there ever again. Just keep an interim in your heavyweight. That's it.
All right. I mean, it's weird for Ortiz. I don't think he needs to be fighting Fred. I'm kind of thinking, I don't know. I just think Fred's be getting the raw end of the stick every way around, even though he probably shouldn't even be in this position that way. So yeah, he does need a fight just to get this shit done over and with. I just don't want to see him get decapitated by King Kong Ortiz. So I don't wonder what they're gonna do. If they do have to have a fighter come in place of him, which would be interesting to see. But yeah, man, they just need to drop this damn consolidation shit already, man, because it seems like the more they try to do the fester, the more haywire it goes. So, I mean, you got your super titleist now and Joshua out of the Klitschko fight. Keep it pushing off of that, man. There's no need to step backwards, especially with the Senior Citizen Bowl. I mean, that's not doing anything to necessarily spark the heavyweight division in terms of unifying or consolidating the belts. So, I mean, just eliminate that shit. And, I mean, eliminate it for good, not the shit they did with the middleweight belt with Jacobs. So, I mean, we're going to go into our next topic of the evening. And, man, we could take this a couple of places, honestly. I actually came across something as far as Bob Arum discussing Terence Crawford's next fight, saying, I mean, it's looking like their situation with HBO is getting a whole lot worse, and we're going to see a lot more top-ranked pay-per-view unless Showtime steps in to save him. He's saying that he's not going to wait around for HBO to make Terence Crawford's next fight without going into so much detail. So what do you guys think of that as far as what it means from Top Rank, as far as what they're going to do? Yeah, what does this mean for HBO? I mean, are they really dipping their head out of the... I mean, we've seen all signs of it already, but are they bowing their heads out of boxing? You know, Terence Crawford had close to 1 million viewers this past weekend for this fight, so I wouldn't say it was a dismal showing or viewership. Let me get you guys' thoughts on that. I'll start off with Bo.
You know what? I think what you see what's going on with HBO is a lot of things. Remember, we have to remember something too now. They had a big dip in the stock. We talked about this a while ago about what their revenue is based upon and streaming revenue. They kind of got away from bringing along prospects for you to want to watch them all the time. That's what the Boxing After Dark used to be. And they kind of focus on main people. Now, Bob Arum said something that caught me when he said that HBO, they're just a fucking network, and how they don't run boxing, and Showtime is just a fucking network, and they don't run boxing. Now, I thought it was interesting he would throw Showtime in there, because Showtime isn't the one that's telling your ass no. As a matter of fact, when Showtime gave you a contract for Manny Pacquiao fight, you had one Pacquiao fight on Showtime, which was Mosley, and then you bounced. So Showtime actually can hold a vendetta against you. But they're not the ones saying that. But here's the thing. They may not be the ones that run boxing, though, like Bob said, but they're the ones that are mainly known for showing boxing. And here's the thing, and this is why I'm glad he said that, because to all these reporters and all these writers who had all this shit to say about PBC and being on regular television, well, guess what? It seems that the main cable network, like we're talking about HBO, they don't seem to want to show it. And it's awfully funny how you shit on PBC and all this, and you would tell me about PBC numbers and all of this. Well, HBO don't seem to care about that. They want, from a budget standpoint, they want to save money, and where they think they can save money the best is they're just like, ever since this new, management team came in, they're doing things differently. They're doing things their way. They're counting every nickel, every penny, every dime, and you got to explain everything to them. And to a certain degree, Bob used to be able to run roughshod, kind of pretty much do whatever you want, and now it's more controlled. And when you're used to doing something that you want for so long and you've given a decent product, you kind of take issues with that. But let's keep something in perspective. There was a lot of recycled fights that Bob Arum gave us also on HBO. I mean, you gave us Pacquiao and what was it? Pacquiao and 3 versus Bradley that didn't do great numbers. Now you're taking Pacquiao over to Australia, hoping you do good numbers there. I remember when you took him to Macau, and HBO didn't want to go back to Macau. So when it comes to boxing and HBO, they are roping back the reins, but they're roping back the reins is not because of Bob. It's because of right now, from a financial standpoint, their company is taking a hit. Their stocks are taking a hit. And anytime that happens, well, you got to cut costs somewhere. All businesses do that. And they're doing it with boxing because they're heavily invested in stuff like Game of Thrones and all of that. They're heavily invested in that because that's really where their money is. So right now, and Bernard, I'm going to give it to Bernard because he touched on it really, they actually can do better for you making a pay-per-view versus putting it on their network from a money aspect.
It just seems like Bob is starting to go even harder on his war against the networks, especially with this past press conference with Crawford, stating, don't thank the networks or anything like that. He was actually adamant about that. One of the things I was paying attention to during the press conference, he seems like he's a little bit belligerent, the way he's going on about it, but I mean,
but the funny thing is, though, the funny thing is, Twan, the network is what show your product. So without the networks, what product you had? Because you had True TV, and we saw how that went. We saw how that worked for you with True TV, So the networks is what shows your product. So
we still ain't heard no word about that Oscar Valdez pay-per-view as far as numbers. And I doubt we will.
I think Arum is starting to realize, though, that he needs Showtime or whatever network. He needs either HBO or Showtime more than ever now. That's why he's lashing out like that. Really, you want to say they don't run it, they do run it. Because if they ain't putting it on, who the fuck gonna buy pay-per-view? There's only a few people that's gonna buy a pay-per-view. You got to be a worthy motherfucking pay-per-view, especially for me to buy. I'm not just buying no shit because I love boxing. You know what I'm saying? So he needs HBO or Showtime to dish out the money. Showtime willing to do it, but I don't think he want to work with Al Heyman or whatever.
Bob want to call too many shots somewhere.
That's what I'm saying.
Telling you, he not seeding somewhere. I mean, he trying to call shots somewhere he can't, and that's what's fucking him over with Showtime.
And that's gonna fuck over Terence Crawford. Anybody that signed, I hope to God he gonna resign after his contract up. I don't know how many years or how many fights he got left, but he need to take his black ass over to somewhere else. It don't got to be Al Heyman strictly ran, whatever, but it can be a neutral situation where he can fight on both Showtime and HBO and get a chance to really make these fights happen. Because Bob Arum stuck in his ways. He's 85 fucking years old. That nigga still ain't dead. I'm saying, like, I ain't wish death on him, but damn, man, something gonna hit. Like you said, Twan, we ain't gonna get the fights we want involving top ranked fighters until that motherfucker is buried 6 feet deep.
Let me say this. I'm gonna be real quick. It ain't that Bob Aaron realized it with Showtime. It's Bob Aaron's like, yo, I want to keep putting on the bullshit. I want to keep the money in-house. I want to keep putting on these bullshit shows. I want to keep getting the money from the network that give me the dates that pay for these fights. He want to keep putting on the bullshit. He's doing the best he can. It's not that he's trying to go against the network. He wants to keep giving you Pacquiao versus Jeff Horn type of fights.
But they he do, but they not they wising up though. You know, they saying
they wise up, but that's why he keeps saying that's why he's going against the network. He wants to keep doing what he wants to do. Yeah, it's gonna take his death to make him for something to happen. I really believe so. Or it's gonna take possibly one of his fighters saying, yo, you're gonna have to draw the line. One of his fighters is gonna draw the line and end up leaving and going to either Al Haymon or Oscar De La Hoya. At this point in time, if you look at what he's done, the Terence Crawford and John Molina fight wasn't that great, but it was opening the door of getting him to work with Al Haymon. Then you saw him work with Crawford and Diaz. That was a better fight on paper. When we saw it, okay, he got annihilated. Now everything else under that, the Ray Beltran and all the other, it doesn't matter. Now the Shakur Stevenson, yeah, it was good to see him on HBO and see you get a fight. That was good. But other than that, come on, man. He's not trying to appease the fans. He's trying to appease the pocket for himself and his company.
And my thing is he got Vasyl Lomachenko, who is a superstar or a fucking rising superstar, however you want to categorize it. You got Terence Crawford, same situation. You got two guys that guaranteed to make you money, but I mean, if you only make more money if you fucking face the other top guys in the division from the other fucking promotional companies. You can't make make whatever you expected, $15-20 million off of fucking Jeff Horn versus Manny Pacquiao. I don't give a fuck how great
he's gonna make that money because it's in Australia.
You can't have your fighters calling out fighters like Keith Thurman knowing that you're not willing to do the business side of it. That's
right. Yes, I agree. I agree with that.
Yes.
You're absolutely right.
Absolutely right. That fight is not going to happen. He said he was like, well, the Crawford fight and Thurman fight was probably is far away. It's a ways off from happening. Bitch, it's a ways off from happening because your old ass still alive and you won't get out the damn way.
I mean, the only fight we probably took away from that could possibly happen is Pacquiao. I mean, everything else is probably bullshit. I mean, as far as working with Haymon or putting them in there against somebody from that stable, we just haven't seen enough proof of it to take it serious.
See, this is what I like right here because this is where I get to point something out, right? Now, supposedly, the whole thing with Schaefer and Oscar De La Hoya was the so-called Cold War was over. Remember that shit? Y'all remember that? The Cold War was over. What we've seen Bob Aaron make more fights with Haymon than with fucking Oscar. What happened to that goddamn Cold War being over? Because the only fight that we got was Vargas and Saddam Ali, and that was a mandatory fight. So you're not even making fights across the board, even when you're able to make good fights across the board. And when you can make them, guess what you're not doing? When you're offering guys like Jasmine Corrales less than $200K, then who do you think going to pick up and take that fight? So he's going to have to open up the pocketbooks, man, and pay these guys and make them fight. He's going to have to come like just like even with PBC. We said this with PBC. We said, listen, man, yeah, we understand these fights are free, but y'all got to give us more competitive fights. And they seem to be doing that, even from Oscar's side. Now, what he can do is he can take what Oscar did with Ring TV, and he can go streaming fights and see how that works. Remember, Ring TV was streaming fights at one point. They was going online with their fights.
Yeah, they still do.
Okay, right. So he can try that and see how it works, but you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Man. All right, so we're going to get into Bernard's the Fuckery Boxing Award of the Week before we get into our final, to our big breakdown of the fight coming up this weekend between Kell Brook and Errol Spence. Go ahead, Bernard.
It's going to be real quick. It's going to the fucking fans that said Andre Dirrell faked his first injury with from Arthur Abraham. He faked it.
Oh damn, we still talking about that?
No, I gave the Fuckery award. It goes to them. I'm gonna go into the final blow because I'm gonna call somebody out. It's a Facebook page. I'm gonna go further into it on the final blow. That's who the Fuckery award will go to. I can't really. Twine has somebody. Twine, I don't know if you want to go fully into it yourself. That you notified me something through the text that the media was trying to badmouth Clarissa Shields.
I haven't even done the full research on it myself. It was just something I passed.
That wasn't the media. That was Steve Kim. I followed that whole thing as it unfolded. That was Steve Kim, punk ass. That wasn't no fucking media.
Again?
Steve Kim. Yeah, that was Steve fucking Kim that tried to do it.
Okay, Bo, can you please expound? Because if that's the case, I could save my final blow, and I could give Steve Kim the fuckboy of the award in boxing today.
He's starting to become like motherfucking JaVale McGee on this shit and shot them fools. I mean, like, come on.
Yo!
Yeah, that was what happened was Clarissa Shields made a comment about Kovalov with the whole racist little thing that he made it look like Andre Ward was saying some using the nigga word and all that, and then he would type it and then delete it and give a different response, right? And he put that on his page, and Clarissa Shields, who actually had a personal encounter with Kovalov when he said about women not fighting, they should be in the house, in the kitchen. She had issues with that. And all she said was, how much longer is Kovalov going to get away with his derogatory comments toward women and his borderline racist tweets? This is all she said. And Steve Kim said, if women's boxing is going to be left in the hands of Clarissa Shields, it's going to fail because she's something and annoying. And then she tweeted back, yo, who is this dude? I don't even know who you are. I drop a comment about Kovalov and here you come? And then he tweeted back somebody that's not going to care about your career. And then she said, okay, well, move on then, dog. I'm going to shout whether you follow me or not. And then he went on to say something else about, oh, well, you talk about Kobe, but you don't got no problem with Floyd. And she retweeted, you late, you been late. I've been saying, and she put it up there where she said it a long time ago. I've been saying that I don't care for Floyd the person, but as a boxer, I admire him, And for him to insinuate the Kovalov thing, he's trying to make it seem like reverse racism because you got no problem with Floyd, but you got a problem with Kovalov. So he
pretty much agreed with everything Kovalov said. I mean, he much agreed with it.
And he did, but here's the thing though, for him to say flat out, and I had no problem with Clarissa Shields. She was supposed to do what she did because she's a competitor. But he's trying to make it seem like the boxing world is going to be doomed for women boxing if she's in charge, and pretty much, trying to sabotage her career with that shit. So she had every right to come back and say what she said. She had every right, and like she said, dog, you can move on. I've already said I don't care for Floyd the person, but as a boxer, he was good. But I don't care for him as a person, and she said that. So for you to insinuate she don't have a problem with Floyd, but you got a problem with Kovalov, but not acknowledge what the fuck Kovalov been doing is kind of fucked up. Therein lies the problem. Therein lies the problem, because the bottom line was that's how Clarissa Shields feels. She said something. All she said was, how much longer are they going to allow Kovalov to get away with his derogatory comments about women and his borderline racial tweets, which is something everybody's saying in the first place. And she came out and said something to her about it. So.
I've already
I don't know how this motherfucker continues to get a pass. I mean,
I might need to whoop his fucking ass.
Be prominent. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't get away with none of this shit.
Oh, you be blackballed forever, bro. You wouldn't even.
Man.
They wouldn't even let you subscribe to HBO Showtime on your cable. Hell no.
I couldn't get away with a meager bit of this shit, man. Mm-hmm. I couldn't even test the limits. It just makes me.
Well, you know what I find shocking about the whole thing is he said something about Clarissa Shields, but here's a dude that has made no comment at all, period, ever since I can remember reading shit about women's boxing at all. That's the part that tripped me out. Like, the only thing about women's boxing you make is to her about a tweet she put out. Like, are you kidding me?
Yo, hold on. Let me say something real quick. I gave this fool April 23rd the Fuckboy Award. You mean 30 days later, a month later, This motherfucker got it again because he decided to expound more on it.
Motherfucking Shaq the Fool.
Bernard, he's the undisputed champion, dog.
Yo, he's like on the 23rd of May, I'm gonna get that award again. You're like, yeah, man, you want to expound more on it? Come on, man. I knew I gave these fools the award last month, and then you mean to tell me you gonna do it again? Okay. June 17th is Ward. Hey, hold on, hear me out. June 17th is Ward fight. This what I bet you by the 23rd of June he gonna do some other fucked up shit. He gonna say some other fucked up shit. Watch.
Well, let's not forget now.
Get the fuck out of Kovalev in the rematch afterwards. See what kind of he say then. Let's
not forget though. Let's not forget one thing, and I always bring this up. This the same Steve Kim that right after Felix Verdejo had a motorcycle accident. This motherfucker tweeted that this motorcycle accident, we got to admit, is the most exciting thing to happen to Felix Verdejo because he was getting all that press. That's the kind of motherfucker we dealing with.
Yeah, somebody need to beat this fucking face and then beat the keep down his fucking throat. I can't.
They whole thing. Him, Doug Fisher, them niggas are some nerds. Like some straight up nerds.
That motherfucker Doug Fisher like a.
I motherfucker slapped the glasses off. I slapped your glasses off. You know what I'm saying? But they say don't hit a man with glasses, but I'd hit his ass.
That motherfucker. Him got bullied. They got bullied in high school. That's why they talk big stuff behind the fucking keyboard. They got bullied and shit. Ooh.
Yeah, but we're going to go into our breakdown of this weekend's big matchup. Kell Brook and Errol Spence Jr., man. Yeah, that's actually the fight a lot of us have been waiting for. I mean, Spence hasn't fought since what I would believe late last July during the Olympics.
August.
Was it August? Okay, that was August.
No. Spence Algieri. Spence Algieri was the last guy he fought.
Yeah.
It wasn't Bundu? Okay.
No, it was Algieri. He fought Algieri after Bundu, I believe.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, he fought Algieri after Bundu.
Okay, so he's coming off a pretty long a little bit of inactivity waiting for this Brook fight because of his injury to Triple G. Man, this has definitely been the talk of a lot of the groups for a while. We've gone over the comparisons to how everybody's saying this in the UK is saying this is going to be Calzaghe versus Lacey. We've covered that. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on into this fight, man. So we finally here to break it down, give our predictions, and yeah, man, we gonna lay it all on the line in this one. I'm gonna go ahead and start off with Bernard, man. How you see this fight playing out? Who you got winning, man?
You know what? Let me say this. This last opponent was Bernard Bundu on the 8th, August 21st, 2016. That's the one where he got 6 million views with Olympics. I'm going to go call it for what it is. It's going to get stopped in the mid-round. I don't see Kell Brook surviving this. Some British fan said that Kell Brook is 7-0 against southpaws. Well, just like the Undertaker streak ended a few years ago, that southpaw streak ends this Saturday on May 27th. So I'm telling all those fans that support Errol Spence, watch the fight. And as for the British, our UK fan base, y'all gonna feel real salty. You thought that Liam Walsh fight was something? Wait till you see what Errol Spence do to Kell Brook.
All right. Big cool. Let me get your. Go ahead, Bernard. You have more you want to say?
Yeah, I want to say something real quick. Bo, when you gonna put that shit out there? That breakdown of the fight, man, for the video.
I'm doing it this week, man.
Okay.
I'm doing it this week, dog.
I got something for y'all for the chocolate brownie.
I'm doing it this week, man.
Yeah, I think I may have seen a sneak peek of it already.
Yeah, this motherfucker's a fool, dog. That's all I can say. This nigga's a fool.
He's a fool. Let's get your assessment of this fight. How's it gonna play out, man?
Man, I'm definitely picking Spence to win, but I don't think this fight is gonna be as easy as a lot of people are saying. You know, you gotta give Kell Brook credit. You know, he is a talented fighter. He did come over here to beat, Shannon Porter. I know Shannon Porter is not Errol Spence, but still, Shannon Porter isn't an easy guy to beat, and he did relatively easy. It's gonna all come down to a couple things. How is that eye really hold up against a guy who can punch? I know he said that he feel good in sparring, but he been sparring guys with 16-ounce gloves, 18-ounce gloves. You know what I'm saying? So really, I don't think that he really got a true litmus test with those gloves and sparring. Also, the drop in weight. He fought 9 months ago, going to 160. He's already a big guy. Dropping that weight can be detrimental, as we've seen Roy Jones and some other fighters suffer dropping that much weight in a short, time span. But things he do well, he has very good timing. He's very accurate. He can counter. And Errol Spence does tend to, when he's coming in to, throw his punches, he kind of leans in and leaves his chin exposed, which, could play, well and play in the hands of Brook, throwing an uppercut. And we got to just be able to see if Spence can really deal with a big puncher, you know what I'm saying? Because we haven't seen him face any adversity against a guy who's equal to or close to his skill level. While I do think he's going to win, he's going to have to be responsible on the defensive side of the defensive end, coming in with his chin tucked, not overextending himself, leaning in, making it easy for Kell Brook, who can counter, especially with the uppercut. Because, he's getting thrown that uppercut and Spence not prepared for it. It could, be, real trouble for him. But Spence going to have to definitely do what Golovkin did. Is force Kell Brook to the ropes, force him to square himself up, use that jab, and then just shoot that straight left. And once he get him worried about the straight left up top, take this, do his patent body work, rip the shots repeatedly, and really test that out early. With that being said, I think Kell Brook is gonna put up a very good fight. Even maybe stun, Spence. But I think that Spence is gonna be too powerful. That he's the better fighter. He's fresher, and I think he's gonna stop Brook in the 10th round. Clean KO. Then he's gonna fold him up with a body shot.
Body shot in there. Pretty interesting. We'll go and get your assessment, your breakdown, how you see the fight playing out, and who you see winning.
I want to point out two very crucial things here. Number one, I know they think Kell Brook's eye is okay from sparring. In sparring, you're wearing headgear. In sparring, you're also fighting at 50%. You're not fighting at 100%. We've seen so many times, I'm going to use a basketball reference. I'm going to use a Chicago basketball player, Derrick Rose. I'm going to use it. This is a guy who hurt his knee, came back, and then once he played at full speed, what happened? He hurt his knee again. How many times have we seen that happen in sports? You hurt yourself and you're okay when you get healed and you get okay, but then once you're back at doing it full speed, something goes wrong. So I still think that eye can be an issue because now you're fighting at full speed, and now you're fighting a guy who's just as dangerous to your body as he is to your head. As far as him losing weight, the real reason why I think this fight took so long is because Kell was having problems getting down to 147. Because they kept asking for all these extensions and medical we trying to make this fight. Because remember, Eddie Hearns even at one point said that he wanted Kell to go to 154. Matter of fact, after that, I think the whatever fight it was before he fought Golovkin, he wanted him to go to 154. Okay, because he's having a problem making that weight. So to your point, when you're losing weight like that, think of Brandon Rios. Remember when Brandon Rios had to get down to fight Timothy Bradley, and Bradley knocked him out with a body shot? Why? Because even if you get down in weight, your body still is in shock because it's not used to absorbing that punishment at that weight that you took it down. So you took it down in weight. Now you're absorbing punishment. So now your body goes through shock. So those are the key factors for me. I don't believe his eye is fully healed because, again, when you're fighting, sparring is always different than fighting. Sparring is 50%, sometimes 40%. You're not full speed in sparring, and you got headgear on. It's a controlled environment where everybody there is there to protect you in sparring. Not like that and when you fight 100%. My biggest concern is I don't want Spence to fall into the Eric Hunter trap, which is when Eric Hunter was fighting Lee Shelby, he was doing good, but then he allowed the referee to get into his head with all the things the referee was saying to him. I hope Errol Spence don't do that. I hope he don't allow the referee to get to him when he goes to the body of the ref. Oh, that's kind of low, when clearly it won't be low. But that's kind of low. No, don't let that ref get into your head. Stay focused, stick to the game plan. Now, give Brook a lot of credit because he didn't have to take this fight. He could have went to 154.
He had to take that shit.
He didn't.
He did.
No, he didn't. Hold on, let me finish, man. Let me finish.
Okay.
Let me finish. Let me tell y'all why I say he didn't have to take it. Because Eddie Hearns wanted him to go to 154. He just got through fighting Gennady Golovkin. He could have said, "Listen, man, I feel better at 154. I feel strong at 154. I'm killing myself because remember, just before he fought Golovkin, that last fight, they had already said, man, he was struggling to make weight. He would probably be better at 154. So after fighting Golovkin, he could have said, man, listen, I'm going to go to 154. Forget it. I'm just going to go to 154. So I give him credit for taking it because he really didn't have to take it. And as much as UK people probably would have said something to him, they'd have forgave him. He'd have fought somebody 154 and won the title. They'd have forgave him. So I give him credit for that. He showed a lot in the Golovkin fight. But the problem with him is the last couple of guys he fought were, like, ever since fighting Sean Porter, he hasn't stepped it up. Like, I haven't seen him step it up after fighting Sean Porter. And the way he held, like, I don't think he can hold Sean Porter like he was able to. Like, Spence don't keep his elbows out. He keeps them tucked in. So if you try to hold him, he pushes you off like he did Leonard Bundle when he tried to grab him. He'll push you off.
He's going to stay off on the body, too.
He pushes you off with his elbows. So by no means is it a walkover because Kell Brooks, like you said, he's very athletic. He has good combination. Okay, he has good movement. But there are times in every fight where Kell Brooks will lower himself into the ropes. You don't have to. Kell Brooks will lower himself into the ropes, and when he does that, he has to let his hand go. Now, for anybody that says this is going to be like Jeff Lacey versus Joe Calzaghe, I just got one thing to say to people. No way in hell is Kell Brooks a fucking Joe Calzaghe. And Errol Spence has shown if you don't get that, either is just a fan of a UK fan or don't know boxing. Because if you know boxing, Errol Spence has showed you too many more dimensions, much more than fucking Joe Calzaghe ever showed us. So that's wrong as shit right there, man.
All right, I'm gonna make it unanimous, man. The American sweep. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little upset about some of the things that are coming out with this fight, man. Even from American fans, not even the UK fans. You know, Brook is gonna knock Spence out or fuck him up because of the lack of head movement, and he was able to catch Gennady with uppercuts, and he was able to catch Porter coming in with shots. I mean, you got to look at Kell Brook's knockout record. His knockout ratio is under 70%. At that,
30%.
Under 70%. So it's at like 69 point something. Mm-hmm. And you got to look. It's based off of wins against guys like JoJo Dan.
I was just going to say that,
Kevin Bizier.
I was just going to say that,
Gavin. And you're looking at a Spence that spars against guys that are easy, that spars against cruiserweights for 19 rounds at a time. I mean, I just literally, we said big up to our boy Kai Stewart. He was at Spence's workout before they went to the UK, and this motherfucker saw this motherfucker spar 19 rounds against a motherfucker bigger than him. Motherfucker's bigger than him. So I mean, the power that you guys think is in that brownie is not there. 70% against guys like Frankie, Gavin, and JoJo Dan. I mean, this is I won't say battle tested Spence because he hasn't been there against the best, but even in the sparring wars, he's been there against guys probably higher caliber than Brook has been there in the ring against in his career.
Let me ask this question, right? I got two questions. How many of us have seen Brook move his head very well?
Shit.
Okay, that's one question. Now, let me ask this question, right? Because people be saying shit like, well, who is Spence's fault? Who is Spence's fault? Errol Spence is a prospect, right? He has, 21 fights? So this is about the time
19, I believe.
Okay, 19. Okay, so it's 21 fights. Okay, Errol Spence is a prospect. Isn't this about the time when most prospects go for title fights is at 21 fights? Like,
yeah.
Is this right about? Okay, so how can you sit and question a guy who's a prospect record when the dude as a champion got motherfuckers that got damn near 1,000 losses on their fucking record? Are you kidding me?
I got a hey, Bo, here's a bit.
If I take Errol Spence's first 21 fights and I put them next to Kell Brook's first 21 fights, the win losses is Brook wins that by a mile. Are you kidding me? Like, this is what you motherfuckers do. He fought a dude with 100-something losses 3 times. Are you fucking kidding me, dog?
Are you talking about Carson Jones?
No,
that ain't it. But you know what I'm saying? But like I said, if he struggled with life and death against Carson Jones, what the fuck you think a guy like Spencer is going to do to him?
Exactly.
I mean,
and another thing to watch out, man, is that, not to cut you off, Twine, but fucking Brook gas too. He gasses and shit too, and that motherfucker really gonna be gassing when the body starts flying.
A guy like Spence that is kind of, I liken him to Aaron Pryor because of his up and down attack and his being relentless in nature. I mean, I liken him to Aaron Pryor.
Spence is a big dude too now. Spence fought at 154 in the amateurs. He's a big guy too. He's a big 147. He's not a small 147.
Kell Brook, if you look at him. I mean, I was looking at the face-off. Spence is taller than him.
Like a half inch.
It looked like Brook just got a lot more hot dogs in his neck. I mean, that's the biggest difference. I mean,
Spence got a longer reach, got 3-inch reach advantage.
Spence is bigger than him. If you look at him, Spence is the bigger guy. So, I mean, I think Brook is really going to get fucked up something awful. We saw him running against the rope against Golovkin. We're going to see that again in this fight.
Yeah, Spence told him try to grab he said, I'm not 5'7" and hug Sean Porter. That shit was funny as fuck. Yeah.
I mean, Spence had that false confidence. When that Spence is more effective than Porter at coming on the inside. I mean, he doesn't crowd his shots on the inside.
He's more technical and fundamentally sound than Porter, so his shots will be short and sweet. It's just either one. Brook,
you know what?
Chocolate sauce, whatever the fuck he was talking about.
Now, here's something that's underrated about Spence that nobody talks about. Spence, when he hits you with his power shots, just like Golovkin, he keeps you at the very end of that motherfucker. When he hits you with them, you're at the very end of that power shot. So that's why, like when people say Jeff Lacey and Calzaghe, like, watch Jeff Lacey and watch Errol Spence. How can you say Errol Spence is Jeff Lacey? Like, that is
nothing like that.
I don't give a fuck who said it. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Like, yeah, Kell Brook is definitely not the guy that's whipping 10-punch combinations the way Calzaghe would.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know if it's a matter of the UK fans or the media, but I want to slap all of them. And it ain't even no national thing, because I'm not no whole nationalistic pride person or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to slap the shit out of some of these fans and commentators because they did this shit, this Lacey comparison with Brook and Spence, and they also carried it into the Tank Davis and Liam Smith fight. And don't have me start showing my ass, UK fans. I got much love for y'all, Ingram. You know what I'm saying? All y'all cats over there, Everton. I got a lot of love for y'all over there, but don't keep showing your ass.
Well, see, them ain't the one saying it. You ain't the one. Listen, I don't have a problem with UK fans saying that, hey, I think, Brook will win. I don't have a problem
Why
with that.
are you comparing everything to fucking Calzaghe and Lacey?
Exactly.
Like, this is two fights. This is two fights they done this shit with fucking Spence and Brook, and fucking Tank Davis and Walsh. Like, this is a bad habit of theirs.
Hey,
and we see the media doing it. It ain't just the fans. The media put this shit out there. So I'm like, come on, man.
I agree with you, man.
Hey, did y'all listen to the broadcast after Tank whooped their ass, whooped Walsh's ass? I mean, they had this was like, well, he wasn't. They trying to make all the excuses in the world. What do you think is going to happen now? Stop. I'm with Twine. That shit was funny as hell. Though. I want to hear the excuses they're gonna have when Brook loses. Because I'm gonna sit here and say this: Brook's competition against like anybody after Porter, he ain't gonna chime in fight Brandon Rios, Jesse Vargas, Devin Alexander. I'm like, damn, you cannot fight anybody from America or in him.
Bruh, after he loses this weekend, he going back to fight domestic fighters.
He didn't even look that good against Porter. I mean, like, he won the fight, but it wasn't like anything dominant or like, yeah, he's the guy.
Right, exactly. Exactly. You know what? That was more of a Klitschko-esque type victory in that Porter fight.
I know that motherfucker's about to go back to fighting domestic fighters after he loses to damn Spence.
Oh, yeah.
No more step-ups after this. No more step-ups. He's like, nah, nope.
Did you hear me?
Huh?
No, I said that victory that he had over Sean Porter was like Klitschko-esque type victory. It was punch, hold. Punch, hold.
I think Porter...
yeah. Catch him coming in, hold. You know what I'm saying?
But, you got to give him props, though. He still did it.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. But I'm like saying, comparing Porter and Spence stylistically, I mean, to me, I think Spence is much more technically sound, and like he doesn't smother his shots, even though he's coming in to bang you on the inside. Like, he puts his shit together well. I mean, I could tell that difference. I mean, that's my observation as far as I think Porter smothers his shots a lot, unless he's going to the body. And he did that against Brook as far as smothering his shots when he was able to get close to him. I don't see that being the same case with with Spence. He's a southpaw. I know we get on him about the head movement, but he says he hasn't had to display these sorts of things against the guys he's against. So we might see a showcase, man. But I'm definitely picking him, Spence. And I'm going to go, I want to say 9th round, but I'm going to be on the safe side and say 10th round stoppage. 10th round, I think everything going to get to him. And, he's light-skinned as hell. And, that bruising is just coming for a cruise.
But I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. I won't be surprised if he stopped Kell early. I'm talking about earlier than that. I mean, I just don't think that Kell Brook going to be the same fighter after –
I think it's going to be from an accumulation of punishment more than anything. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said I'm going 9th or 10th round.
But the sooner the better.
We've seen Kell stand up the Triple G. So like I said, it's going to be one of those fights to where he's going to be broken down physically to go down. I don't think it's going to be no one-punch shot or nothing like that. He's going to succumb to accumulation of punches like he did against Triple G pretty much. And I'll say a little bit later, I think Spence is going to go in there and punish him, though. Anything else you guys want to add on to this one?
As long as Spence wins, I'm happy.
Bring it back to the States, man. Like I said, I ain't the most patriotic of people, but I'm riding with you on this one, Errol. We didn't had Derrick James on a couple times, man, and we definitely supporting you here. So
if you listen to Derrick, man, put Spence on next time when y'all get back on the States.
Yeah, and TK actually did an interview with Derrick James that he's going to be. I'm not sure if he put it up yet or not, but he should be.
Happy birthday to his daughter. I think today is his daughter's birthday, right?
Yeah, big up. Yeah, TK's daughter's birthday is today. So he's not on the show, but he was able to get an exclusive interview with Derrick James from over in the UK prior to Errol Spence's defense. So he'll be putting that up this week, and y'all be paying attention to that one. We gonna let. I guess I should go into my U.O.E.N.O segment before we let Bernard do his thing. On this day in 1941, Joe Louis retained his world heavyweight title with a 7th round disqualification over Max Baer. Pretty much what happened in this one, Max Baer landed some illegal blows, and that's why the fight was he was disqualified. So it was a controversial fight even back then. Even going back into the 40s, we've always had some kind of controversy with motherfuckers. But he was able to retain his belt. And, big up, rest in peace to the champ, man. Bernard, go ahead and do your thing, man, the final blow.
Yo. I'm going to be real quick with this final blow. I took the award away for giving them the Fuckboy Award. And they probably going to still, you know what, I'm going to end up keep giving it to him anyway. But I'm particularly going after one group. I want to call it a casual, but I'm particularly singling somebody out on Facebook. It's this boxing group called Ray Del Box. And I'm going to read this to y'all. It's about the Dirrell situation. It's not the first time Dirrell exaggerates an illegal coup to take the victory. Basically, he's talking about saying that Andre Dirrell faked an injury, fake being knocked out after Arthur Abraham hit him in the back of the head. You can't fake that. If you don't realize that if you hit a person in the back of the head, if you hit him in the behind the ear, you can knock him out. If not, you could kill him. The perfect example of this, of somebody being damaged from being hit in the back of the head consistently and constantly from blows, is Pritchard Colon. Do your research. After this bout, Andre Dirrell had neurological issues for a year and 9 months. So he pretty much was out of the ring for almost over 2 years. That is very disrespectful to this man to sit there and say that he's faking something because of what happened this past Saturday. What happened this past Saturday was the second time, and it was unfortunate. We already discussed it early in the podcast, so I'm not going to go on that. But for you guys, Real Del Box, y'all some fuck boys for that shit. Y'all probably never been in the ring. Y'all probably hiding behind a computer just saying some shit because y'all see this shit. No. I will play it for y'all, but I'm not going to even go back and try to play it. But I'm going to describe the situation in that ring for those that don't know. Andre was outboxing Arthur Abraham. He clearly won the match. He was winning the match. He was outboxing Arthur Abraham. When he got in the corner, his right foot slipped from under him. He landed on he pretty much was like he was taking a knee. At that time, Arthur Abraham went for him and hit him in the back of the head with his knee. He was on the ground. Everybody knows that that's a foul. We've seen fighters that done that, like Roy Jones, get disqualified. We've seen fighters like Triple G who did that against David Lemieux and did not get disqualified. But in this one, Arthur Abraham hit Andre Dirrell in the back of his head. Andre went out, and you could tell like he was having a seizure or something. And he was out. How do you fake that? How do you call it an illegal coup to take a victory when he was already winning the fight? Same with this past Saturday. Some of you fanboys and you casuals are in your fucking feelings for whatever reason. I don't know if it's because Jose Bovita was a Hispanic fighter and you feel like he was winning the fight. Some fighters some people had him win on the card. Some had it a draw. some had Dirrell win the fight at the time, for whatever it is. But these boxers get in this ring and they take risks. Risk in their head where they could end up with having brain damage. This guy has already had neurological damage, speaking in Dirrell. So for y'all to say that shit, y'all some disrespectful motherfuckers, and y'all can eat a dick and die slow.
Damn.
Whew. Wow. The hot fire. Tell us how you really feel. Tell us how you really feel.
Dylan. Oh shit!
Yeah, I could have said to my phone, don't make all your kids don't go. I can go into a Tupac rant, say fuck you, fuck bad boys. I could go do that shit too, but nah, I'm not gonna do.
Fuck all the other sanctioned bodies except the IBO.
Right. You ain't down with the IBO. Fuck you too.
Hey, well, big shout out to the IBO. They might be making James DeGale versus Chris Eubanks Jr.
Hey, I will be
man. Well, I'll believe it when I see it.
Hey, what Badu Jack say to James DeGale? He said, I still got your teeth in my pocket, faggot. I'm gonna sell it on eBay. Oh, that shit funny as fuck. That was some funny
James,
shit.
girl, I still got your sister.
Damn,
James. You got to see
Just to have to throw that. Yeah, I'll give you the address, James. I ain't tripping. So.
He'll give 2K's address out.
Hell yeah, motherfucker.
Hey, James gonna show him. He gonna be like, you ain't as dark as the motherfucker that was talking this shit to me.
But 2K don't mind. 2K don't mind. He'll tell Mrs. 2K, yo, get the camera ready. I'm about to whoop this cat.
Yeah, this motherfucker 2K gonna have this motherfucking egg shake, his egg protein, his powdered egg shake ready. His powdered egg shake.
He probably did. He probably out here with his daughter celebrating birthday. So hold on, baby, wait a minute. I got to drink these 4 eggs real quick. Then I can get these.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. But we gonna pretty much put a halt to this show, man, till next week. Next Sunday is our normal time. I was out of town, so we had to run it back on a Tuesday. But you normally catch us on Sundays. I'm gonna let everybody get their handles and everything before we get up out of here. Bo, where can they catch you at, man?
They can catch me at Truth and Facts About Boxing on YouTube. Subscribe, y'all. It's free. Damn. You can also catch me on at Twitter, capital T for Truth, _ capital F for FactBox1, and on Instagram at just regular Truth _ FactBox1. You can also catch me on Pound for Pound, main event, and any podcast where they're talking boxing. And you can also catch me right here with these three fools too. Right here on the Müvment.
He said,
Hey, shout out to all of our UK fans as we have boxes of tissue that will be on sale for y'all for the Crying Fest this weekend. Don't worry, we still gonna love y'all, but we gonna fuck with y'all real bad when your boy go down.
And Twine got a special kind of brownie for you. Fuck that shit Kell Brook talking about. I got some motherfucking weed brownies to help you with your pain and misery.
Don't worry about it. They're going to be half eating and shit. You still can get called for
All right, wow. Cool. Go ahead and let everybody know where they can find you, man.
You can find me, us, whatever you want to call it, on Twitter, at Colossal CBT. You can head over to Facebook, hit that like button on the page, follow us on Twitter. On Instagram. Subscribe to us on Colossal Boxing Talk. On YouTube at Colossal Boxing Talks. Some shit I forget, but yeah, man. Catch me on here. Catch me on True Facts About Boxing, Guys at Boxing Talk, Twine shit, the round table and all that, man. Just follow us and support us, man. And subscribe to all our damn channels. Like Bo said, it's free right now.
All right, and Bernard, where can I catch you at, brother?
Well, first and foremost, I'm gonna put 2K up. You can find 2K on Twitter at Boxing Guide, capital B for boxing and capital G for guide. You can find him also on YouTube at the Guides of Boxing Talk. That's his YouTube channel. So you can find me and the rest of these fellas in the Movement Facebook boxing group. You can also find at Eastwick, Fisticuffs Boxing, Ring IQ Boxing, We Live Sleep Boxing, Talking Boxing and Bullshit. You can find me on Twitter at The Movement Boxing. You can find me on Instagram at The Movement BP. And I think that's pretty much. Oh yeah, you can also find me this Saturday after Spence wins. You can find me at the what?
No. I thought you were about to say something else. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say you can find me. Oh, well, first Friday. No. Don't do that. I got a surprise for that. Okay, then. Well, not Friday. Well, this Saturday, you can find me down the street at the 7-Eleven getting all the walnut brownies, celebrating after Spence wins, and a Slurpee. Yeah, my dad's going to be totally fucked up coming this Saturday. I will be celebrating. And new video coming soon, The Truth and Facts. Look for it.
I might go live after the fight. I might go live on YouTube after the fight. So if I can get some of y'all on.
All right. Well, I'm trying to Divine Liberty, a.k.a. known as B Liberty, on Facebook. You can catch me in all the boxing groups on there. Die Hard Boxing, We Live, Sleep, Eat Boxing, Ring IQ, big up to Wilson and Eastwick Boxing, the Commissioner's Lounge, Championship Rounds. Man, you just could pretty much catch us in anywhere, man, talking this boxing shit. Of course, we got our own, the Movement Boxing channel, or page on a group page on Facebook. You can catch us on, and pretty much supporting everybody else, man. Big up to 2K. You couldn't be with us today. You could probably catch me anywhere Ingram Jones is going to be this weekend, so I could follow his millions of UK followers and troll them after the result of this fight. Shout out to Ingram. Big up to him. With that said, man, we're going to get out of here, and we'll catch y'all next week with a whole lot of hoorays and rants and praises as the U.S. is dominant over the U.K., eliminating their title reign and bringing them down to the teens, hopefully, the low teens. That said, peace out, y'all.